Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Qingdao and the 2019 ICF Stand-Up Paddling World Championships. We're getting ready for a very exciting afternoon of racing because we're down to the gold medal races of the 200-meter sprints. We have 8 titles on the line here over the next hour, hour and a half between the different divisions. Callie, welcome back to the live show, mate. Welcome to all of you tuning in around the world. Day 2 here of the ICF Worlds. It's going to be some intense racing.
Yeah, it's going to be a very exciting afternoon, and like you said, very intense. We've seen some very fast heats this morning, and then I'm expecting some spectacular finishes in the final.
Yep, and there's the schedule in about 5-6 minutes' time. We're going to start with the junior women's 200-meter sprint, straight up final, jump into the Masters, 4 gold medals on the line there. Then perhaps one of the most intense finals is going to be the junior men's after what we saw in the semis. And then the headline act, the open women and the open men, just after 3 o'clock local time, about an hour from now. That's going to be intense. Yeah. I was actually chatting with a few of the boys there at lunch. Andre Krader, interesting story. The Russian canoe athlete that's kind of been blowing just about everyone away in the heats. He's borrowed 2 different boards this morning, and he's going to borrow a 3rd one for the final. He actually didn't have his own board here this week.
That's amazing. It just goes to show the talent on top and what he's got to offer, and it doesn't really matter what's underneath him. So imagine if he was on his own board. Who knows what we'd see here. But yeah, that open men's final, that's I can't even pick a winner at that.
It's going to be you'll be able to throw a handkerchief over the top 5 guys there. That's going to be so close. The women's battle is looming to be an interesting one because the fastest qualifier was actually Jessica Souza from Brazil. Bit of a dark horse. I was chatting with Vinnie Martins from Brazil and just asking what their team tactics were. He said Jessica and Arthur have essentially trained the entire year for the 200-meter discipline.
Wow.
So they're focused. And I said, where did she come from? Because I've never seen her race. And he's like, oh, don't worry, we knew she was going to be good. Like we saw her at the Nationals and she blew everyone away in Brazil. So, yeah, that's going to be an exciting one, but she's got some top talent chasing her down. And in the men's, like we said, Connor Baxter, Claudio Nica, Andre Krader, the dark horse, Arvis, the other dark horse, and about 6 more dark horses.
And Arthur himself. Yeah, it's going to be some incredible racing for sure. And I was talking to a couple of the competitors there at lunchtime, and just, you know, we were talking about how this 200 meter it's its own discipline. You know, you've got the traditional marathon racing and the traditional technical, but this is becoming its own division, and seeing these crossover athletes here as well, it just broadens the horizon for where our sport can go, and this is pretty special to be watching and be part of right here.
Yeah, absolutely. We see the junior women warming up. Their heat starts in about 5 minutes' time. We might have a quick chance to even look at some of the highlights from this morning. It was intense, especially those junior men's. Even in the first round of qualifying, they were going for it. We see here the open men. That was Arvis Ilians, one of the strongest techniques we saw all day. There's Jessica Souza, we mentioned, from Brazil. She's the one to watch in the women's final on that very unique board. And here one of the men's semi-finals, just tight racing right there down the lanes. A unique format here. We're racing in the lanes, but there's several guys in each lane, several men or women. Here's some of the junior boys action. The Japanese kids, here we go. Right to Gucci, right on cue. This kid could win a gold in the open, let alone the juniors.
Look at that.
But he was pushed by a couple of Chinese lads, though.
Yeah, he was pushed. I mean, you know, you just don't know how much these guys have left in the tank. You know, they all work hard getting off the line, and they want to get that clean water. And that first 100 metres or even 20 metres is very important. But you can see they're all pushing hard for that first 100 metres, and then it's hard to tell what they've left in the tank for the end if they're just doing enough to qualify. So. The finals is really going to be where there's no time to ease off. They're going to be pushing all the way to the line. And some of these times we're going to witness here, noticed a little bit more of a wind change this afternoon. It's probably about the same strength as the morning, but it is predicted to swing around a little. And I can see it's kind of funneling nearly right down this passageway, so that may increase the time.
There's going to be some fast times. A bit of tailwind.
Yeah.
I don't know what the official tailwind has to be before there's an asterisk on record times, but they're going to go under 50 seconds for sure. We saw Claudio hit 50 seconds even to the 1,000th of a second. So you'd expect the finals, they're probably going to go 1 or 2 seconds faster.
Yeah, there's one of the
powerhouse Olympians, Sebastian Brendel, 3-time Olympic champion.
Yeah, we'll see him in the final. He's it's going to be interesting watching these guys just our traditional names we all know and watch weekend after weekend are going to be, they're going to be challenged by some of these crossover athletes, and
yeah, the likes of Andre Crater, I think, is kind of proven to be the ultimate dark horse here.
He is definitely.
He's got a genuine chance on a borrowed board to win the gold medal. You know who else had an unorthodox preparation was a good friend of mine, Trevor Tunnington. I know his family's probably tuning in back home in Queensland, so a big shout out to the folks there. But Trevor didn't know he was racing until about 10 p.m. last night when his boss at Team Starboard, who'd just won a bronze medal himself, said, "All right, Trev, go into the 200 metres, mate.
Gave him no choice.
Do it for the team." I think he was out at a bar at the time, and he said he had to get up at 5 a.m. for a team meeting, run down, find a board, borrow a paddle, register, jump on the water, and I think he got second in his heat and had one of the fastest qualifying times.
He's one to watch. I can see the young ladies just starting to line up over there, and if we've got a start list for them, because we haven't seen them race today.
On the screen there, Connor Baxter, one of the quickest in the heats.
Yeah.
Arvasilian's next to him. I mean, they're two of the names that could be on the podium tonight. There's only 3 spots on a podium, 3 medals on offer, and there's about 10 boys that could genuinely get that gold.
Look at that. There's a half a second between all
That's
those
Andre
guys.
Crater on the red, on the Fanatic there, just on the left now. Claudio Nica in the middle, who had the fastest time. This was a 50-second flat semi-final. Connor Baxter next to them.
You can see he's cruising.
They
in
did.
there.
They
look at that.
Yeah, and that was still 50 seconds flat.
This
Claudio,
is exciting.
looking good. You picked him this morning.
Who picked him? I was just going to ask that. Who did pick him? Oh, yeah, that was me. We'll see. Hey, anything. There's still a lot of racing. It's only a short sprint, but there's a lot in this race.
And another boy to watch there, or another
yeah.
man to watch, is Arthur Santa Cruz from Brazil. He's been impressive all day. Hasn't lost any of his qualifiers. On that unique design, the rectangle.
Look at, he just eased
He
off
just
there.
totally cruised over the line.
That was the line, yeah.
So yeah, this is going to be a pretty intense one. There's Trevor Tunnington on the screen. Hasn't really trained for this race, but still one of the fastest qualifiers. He's such a hell of an athlete. And here we had the junior boys. Right to Gucci. Just hammering Jack Seymour on the right there. The medalists from yesterday were all pretty impressive, the Japanese lads, and Jack from Canada. But I think some of those Chinese boys are going to get in the mix for the medals in the sprint for the juniors.
There's definitely a good chance. It's just how much have they used to get to the final. That's going to be, I think Rye can do this all day long. Kay seems like he can go all day long. The speaker Kay, there he is there. Look at the power on that catch,
He's doing the old Connor Baxter choke strike there to start, and he gets off like a rocket. But in this one, he had a couple of the Chinese lads pushing him all the way to the line.
Yeah, I think when it comes to the final, it's going to be the experience is going to show here with the juniors. Yesterday's podium, it's going to be they're going to be pushed, but I think I'd be pretty safe betting between those 3. Maui's in the mix as well. He didn't have the best semi,
from Germany. Yeah, he was pretty quick off the line.
Was he just cruising that semi? It was an automatic qualifier. We had a few slip out. So yeah, we got a lot of finals this afternoon. We got 8 finals here to go through. So here we go.
One
for
of
the
those
start list of the junior women. Now we haven't seen these ladies race yet. This is a straight final for them. And,
yeah, we're getting pretty close to the start of the junior women's race. Again, a straight-up final. Jessica Rankin from South Africa, an outside chance here, but if we can scroll back to that first page, might not be able to. But that's going to be very interesting because we've got the gold and silver medalists from yesterday, Brianna Orms from New Zealand, Muka Guy from Japan. Definitely the ones to watch there, I'd say.
I'm going to be keeping a good eye on the young Chinese girl that got disqualified from the marathon.
Yes, Haoting Zhu in the center.
She was a flyer off the start. Oh, there was another flyer yesterday.
Yeah, Hannah Kraft from Germany. And there's Brianna Orms in the center. Doesn't have the armbands on today.
Shaking their hands out. These girls are ready to race. They've been watching a lot of racing this morning, so...
Could be Krista Babienko there, number 81. There, I think that's Haoting Zhu there. The denied the gold medal yesterday after that pretty clear drafting infraction. But a very strong paddler from what we saw. There's Team Germany, Hannah Kra.
I think she's going to be right in the mix, the young Chinese girl here. She had a good tempo and a good pace.
There's Jessica Rankin, South Africa. Retired at the age of 14, made an epic comeback at the age of 16. Now 17 years of age at the ICF Worlds. There's Muka Guy on the outside. She's the gold medalist by half a nose yesterday against Brianna Orem. So they're probably the 2 favourites for this, the gold and silver medalists yesterday. Let's take a closer look. There's Mew. diminutive figure, especially in that dugout sprint.
Yeah, they're coming to the start line, so be ready.
Can Japan get a 4th gold medal?
This is it, the first gold medal race of the day.
Germany, China. The wind's pushing them down. It's meant to be a standing still start, but it's going to be pretty hard to stop moving with that wind on your tail. We're getting the, we can hear out of the corner. Race director telling everyone to stop. Oh, these girls are going to be a little bit nervous right now.
Yeah, this is their first race, and so there's no room for error here in the heats and repechage and semi-finals of the others. There is a little bit of room for error to, you got another chance. This is one straight final, so we're going to put it all on the line and get it right from the start.
Number 4 and number 6, first warning. One more, you are disqualified. Go back. Go back. China back. Back. China only back. 4 and 6.
Getting the start line very straight.
4 and 6 and 5 back.
I don't know if you can hear that on the mic, but the race director is yelling at them to get back.
Last warning, you're going to be disqualified.
May need a translator in there, possibly, but okay. We're getting close to the start.
Number 9 forward.
Under starters orders here.
Ready, set.
All right, they're off clean start. Let's see who gets the best with Brianna Orms. Misses half a stroke there, but Krista from the Czech Republic, nice start. Hannah Cry out of Germany as well. Looking good on the inside, but Mew out of Japan missed that start as well. Looks like Hannah Cry from Germany's got the best of it so far. Loser in this blaring sunlight that's opened up in the afternoon, but it's a pretty tight field. The top 5 now almost virtually dead even right there. Hannah Kra on that infinity board representing Team Germany. Could probably go half a step forward there. The nose out of the water, but she's absolutely powering down. Looks like Brianna Orms on the outside is looking equal second, but Hannah's got the best of it. Can she hold it together though? 100 meters down. This is where you start getting hurt. The lactate comes in. Whoa. She's got her board length out, going for the ICF Junior Women's World title in the sprint. Hannah Kra from Germany. Can she join her compatriot Sonny Honshi and get the goal? They've got the 30 meters to go. She's holding on by half a board length. The Chinese competitor coming down the outside. This is going to be a photo finish. She's surging at the end, but Hannah's holding on. The hair's bobbing. She's digging deep. You can see on the drone, the nose, the board's at her feet. She's got about 2 meters to go. She's going to take it. Germany. Wow. Germany takes the goals. And I've got a feeling that our favourite picks missed the medals completely, and China might have gone to silver and bronze there.
They did.
But Hannah Kra.
She got her nose out in front early and just held that. Got some clean water. She got good power. Good
that was impressive. Hannah Kra from Germany. I've seen her race a couple of times over there in Europe. I knew she had potential, but I didn't realise she was that bloody quick.
Well, we saw her
wow.
At the distance yesterday. Maybe
yes.
she
maybe saving herself.
Saving herself.
That was smart.
It was tough yesterday, and this was maybe one of her aims, and it shows probably why.
Wow, that was very smart. Congratulations, Hannah Kra takes the first title of the afternoon. The junior women's 200-meter sprint gold medal goes to Germany. I'm pretty sure it was Hao Ting Zhu, 21 in the background there, might have snuck through for a silver or bronze. We'll wait for the official results. But
it was bronze. I think the young girl on the outside just might have got her on the line.
We're going to wait for the provisional ups. There's Hannah off the start, digging deep. Tell us about that technique. What do you think?
Oh yeah, she's
that's
using
power.
A lot of her body weight. These girls aren't, they're not as strong as the men, so they really use that back to whip down into the catch there and get that board up to the planing.
She held it the whole way. I thought she might drift at the end, but it's a strong young woman right there.
She knew what she was doing.
Woo! Okay, so first blood goes to Germany. They provisionally move into second on the medal tally right there. Sonny got the gold yesterday. Hannah Kra, another gold for the Germans. And they got more opportunities coming up.
We go into the Masters women next.
So Masters men, women, 40 plus, then 50 plus. So the next 4 races are the Masters titles on the line. And we'll see which countries can scoop the medals. We're just going to sit tight here. The official results are dropping. Here we go. Hannah Kra from Germany takes it. Hao Ting Zhu was bumped down to bronze by her compatriot. So Xu Jinglai. China goes 2-3. Krista Babyankova, one of my picks for the dark horse there, got knocked down to 4th, but our big picks, Mew and Brianna, gold and silver yesterday, were down in 5th and 6th, which shows the depth of talent here in the junior women's. And actually, Hannah's sister, Finya, her younger sister, was also in the final with her, so she'll be pretty proud.
Yeah,
the big sister takes the gold.
Time.
They'll be able to share that. But
maybe they'll be the Hersulio sisters in the future.
Could be. The Kra sisters from Germany.
Sisters.
Remember that name. They're only 17, no more than 17 years of age, I believe. So, wow. Fast start there.
Yeah, that's our first gold medal for the day. Goes to the Germans.
Wonder how quick I can get our graphics crew to update that Olympic leaderboard.
Well,
I don't dare ask. But
let's leave it to the end.
That's Germany right behind Japan there. So now we're moving straight into the next race. It's going to be the women's 40 plus, and the lady on the left of screen there, 133, that's Takaya Yokoyama, long-time Japan #1. She's been an international competitor for the better part of 10 years, and she blitzed them yesterday, and I would be surprised if she doesn't take the gold today.
Wow, she's got to be the class in this field, and yeah, she looked strong all race yesterday, and I'm sure she's definitely the favourite. Again, it all comes down to getting those first few strokes, and just staying relaxed, and connecting with that power, and getting that board speed up. And if you can do that early, hold them off, and that's what you'll be aiming to do in this race. We don't know a lot about the other ladies in this race, but
their Israeli competitor, she picked up a bronze medal yesterday.
Yeah, and wasn't she happy about it?
I think she was the happiest athlete at the ceremony.
Dancing around with the flag, and good on her. I think the day before, didn't we see her run around
she's
about
already
20K
done
here?
10 laps of the city jogging. Esty from Israel, she's a chance at a medal here. Takaya Yokoyama, though, in 133. She's got to be the hot favourite. She was in a league of her own yesterday, and we want to see exciting racing, but when there's a clear favourite, you've got to call it, and I think Takaya's in a league of her own right now.
Okay,
so we'll see, 6 women on the start line.
Just got to,
3 medals to be decided. Is it going to be gold medal number 4 for Japan?
Wow, it's going to be...
Only on the horn. If you start before the horn, you're going to get a warning.
Okay,
so
they've set up a pre-line for the final, so that they all line up there, drift up to the start line. A little bit of tailwind here, so it's going to be hard to get it exact, but the starters are doing their best.
The wind's just picked up in the last 10 minutes. There's proper...
Yeah, a little bit of cloud coming in too, so there was a predicted to be a bit of a wind change.
There she is, Takaya Yokoyama. Got to be the favourite for this race. She's on the far inside lane next to that ship out there. They're getting the call from the race official that they're at the virtual line. Getting told to just back it up a little bit, ladies.
Yeah, it's a hard.
So, our Greek competitor, Panagiota. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, but Greece already picked up, was it 1 or 2 medals yesterday? So some of the smaller nations punched above the weight here at the ICF Worlds, which you always like to see. It's always good to see the underdogs picking up some medals. The wind is definitely playing a bit of havoc with the starts here, because
just picking up a little bit on their tail.
They're getting told to back up, and it's not the easiest thing to do.
Hard to back up. It swings the nose around. And
Go back, number 5.
I see a few of the competitors online on SUP Racer Facebook watching the finals. Probably tucked up in their room, saving themselves for tomorrow. Out of the weather, out of the wind. Jackson Maynard there.
See Ollie Shilston tuning in from the UK. Noelani Suck will be cheering on her brother later on. We've got Mathieu SDF from Total SUP online. One of our media partners here this week. Tom King will be cheering on his wife, Taryn King. Jackson Maynard, who raced earlier, but they're off. Here we go. Masters 40 plus women. Is anyone going to be able to stick it with Takayo? You can see straight off the line, she's got that powerful technique. She had 12 kilometers yesterday to show a thing, and she ended up winning by about 600 meters. Not going to be the same margin today in a 200 meter race, but as the wind really starts to beat down. This is going to be a nice little mini downwinder here. Tell us about that technique, Linzo.
She's driving. She's only a small girl, so she's putting a lot of power through her whole body into that catch. You can just see she's just powering away from the other women. And
yep, she's in a leave her own right now to go. This is, there's 50 meters to go, and she's already 4 board lengths ahead. She's going to take another gold medal for Japan because this is a masterclass performance. Takai Yokoyama. She was the Japan #1 for almost a decade. Probably lost that to Yuka Sato about 2 years ago. But now that she's in the Master Division, she's just adding to the trophy cabinet. That is a big victory from Takai Yokoyama in just over a minute. That's a quick time right there, 1:03. Congratulations. We can hear the Japanese team in the background screaming.
That's Greece and Israel coming across second and third.
Looks like Greece has got it. Israel's third, so Esti's got her second bronze medal. She's going to be very happy on the ceremony tonight. But Takai takes it.
Wow.
She doesn't even. She looks like she could go do another lap.
Yeah, some of the, we'll keep an eye on her time, and
that was pretty quick at 1:03.
Match her up against the. We'll get the official time, and we'll keep note of that. We'll match her up against the open women a little later.
Yeah, I'll be very curious to see what she got with the versus the open women there. I say she'd be in the mix in that one as well, but we're going to run straight into the next one. We'll try and get the results before we get to the start list of the next race, but it's all happening pretty quickly here this afternoon. So there's Takai straight off the line on that deep ocean board. Just textbook. You see right off the start, she had a clear lead. The rest of the women had a pretty even battle. Greece and Israel pulled ahead at the end, but Takai was in a league of her own. She got the #1 sticker on her board, and rightfully so.
Yeah, she paddled that whole 200 meters on the one side too, which is
interesting.
Which is interesting, but
the Danny Ching hippo stick paddle in hand.
Yeah.
Here we go for the results. So the gold medal officially goes to Japan. Silver for Greece, bronze for Israel. But Takai, big victory there. That is far. 1:01.
Yeah, that is fast. That's going to rival some of these women in the final.
I'm going to make a note of that. 1:01.76. See how Takai compares with the open women coming up soon. But before then, we've got a race I'm very excited to see. Good friend of ours, Tommy Boudet Jr., in his 18th race of the weekend. Let's have a look. The start list. Let's get the start list up for the open men's 40 plus.
I don't think he's going to do this one. I think he was only going to do the opens for the two.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He picked the wrong battle there.
The other guy. Give him the
but Americo Pinheiro, the husband of Lena Ribeiro, a name to watch there. A few of the, quite a few of the Chinese competitors. Not so familiar with all of them, but it's good to see. We got athletes from as far as Egypt, Portugal, Slovenia, Israel, Spain. And it looks like Mitja Osterbank, that name sounds familiar. Could be the father of young Vid Osterbank, who's coming up in the junior men's final. So family affair for the Slovenians. Another one of the Russian boys of Jenny Shernenko. The Russians have been so strong today. They love the sprints. But I'm very curious as we see a nice little gust blow through. Very curious to see Americo Pinheiro. I don't know if he's actually even going to be on the start line because he was struggling with injury when he arrived here, but if he's out there...
He was talking about his shoulder injury.
Yeah, I don't spot Americo out there for Team Brazil. God, they could have almost got 3 golds today, potentially. Because they've got 2 of the favourites in the opens, in the women's and the men. But no, I think Americo's out with an injury. So we'll get the boys, or the men, the 40-plus men into position.
Yeah, like we said, just that little bit of tailwind, just creating a little bit of havoc on the start line, but the officials doing a great job here of getting it as fair as possible. Everyone's keen to get that paddle in the water and get moving. This is these guys' first race for the day, so it's all on the line, one hit out.
Li Shi from China, number 57.
Go back, please. Everybody back. Back, please back. Number 10, back. Number 16, back.
All right, they're getting the starters' orders to get back there, creeping forward. Standard, pretty standard in SUP racing. And also, I must say, pretty difficult when you want to get a centimetre perfect start and the wind's pushing you over the line.
That's right.
It's actually unintentionally a lot of the time that they'll creep over.
The cloud's coming in. I think we're going to have to slip another lane. Chris?
One due. See if your boys from Korea can make up for it earlier. Cali, but one due. 142's out there in the Masters. Yeah, it's getting... The clouds are starting to roll in. The wind's starting to roll in. It's actually just dropped about 5 degrees in the last 5 minutes. Kelly Marquez is taking a break from the commentary booth to go rug up. But yeah, it's actually getting quite chilly. Hi, Sun from China. China rolling deep here, the host nation. We've got about 70 athletes in the various divisions this weekend. And they've already picked up 5 medals, a gold, 2 silver, and 2 bronze. Oh, sorry, 7 medals. So 3 silver, 3 bronze, and a gold for the host nation. They've got 7 medals now. So depending how you measure the medal tally, either by golds or by total medals, China could even be leading the event, which would be a hell of a big story. Right now, we'll see if any of these lads can pick up another medal for the host nation, because they got, I think, 8 or 9. We got one of the boys there just missed the start. That was a not a rolling start, but one of the boys there at the back wasn't ready to go. So we see who's charging out in front. Could be Ivan Pena from Spain. We'll try and get it. I think that is Ivan Pena in the center there from Spain on that Molokai board. A bit of nose out of the water, but he's got it moving. Pretty sure that is Ivan Pena there. Yep, 163 Ivan Pena from Spain. He was one of my picks earlier, but he's looking pretty good so far. The boys, it's not quite the same pace as the Opens, but it's not far off. We'll try and pick up who that is in number 7, but in the center lane, it's Ivan Pena from Spain trying to take it out. These boys are starting to get tired already, though. This is a long 200-metre race. He's got some competition right here beside him. This is going to be a photo finish in the center lane. Generally, the top fastest paddlers will get seated to the middle lanes. But Ivan Pena, one of the old Canoe boys from Spain, is holding it off. He changes sides with 5 metres to go. That was brave. Is he going to hold it on for the goal? From our angle, looks like he's just going to get it by half a board with a dead set photo finish for silver and bronze. And Ivan Pena from Spain is...
and he's pumped.
He's pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good on him. He deserved that. That was a solid race. There was a lot of contenders in that race. It was...
Yeah, not all the names we're so familiar with in the Masters, but that was a solid finish right there. Photo finish for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. One of those boys is going to be unlucky and just miss out. But Ivan Pena, clear winner. He takes the Masters title in the sprints.
Masters over 40s. I should have jumped in there. That would have been fun.
Not too late. Sign up for the beach race tomorrow, mate. I'll call the actions fine.
Yeah, 200 metres more.
So you see a replay there. Straight off the line, that was Ivan on the right of screen just there. He actually set a cracking pace for the first 100 metres. Then it looked like he tired in the middle, then got a second win towards the end. His lane buddy was surging towards the finish. He actually changes sides right before the finish. We'll see if we pick this up. It was a very brave... There we go. With about 5 strokes to go, he actually changed sides.
He wanted to get his victory arm ready. Claim that.
Yeah, wow, that was...
Yes. See,
he's been the happiest victor we've seen all week.
That's how you win a gold medal, I'm telling you. You got to celebrate it. There's one to Spain.
Alrighty.
Spain's first gold medal?
That's Spain's first medal, I believe, because Suzak was 4th yesterday, just outside the medal. She's got a shot in the final. The women's sprint's coming up soon, but yeah, I believe that's Spain's first medal of the week. So the goals today that have already been decided, junior women, it went to, remind me, Germany. Hannah Krah picked up the first medal of the day. If you're just tuning in, folks, it's day 2 of the ICF Worlds. 200-metre sprint gold medal showdowns here this afternoon in Qingdao. Germany won the first one courtesy of young Hannah Krah, the junior women's title. Japan was far too strong in the Masters women, the 40-plus division. Takai Yokoyama got her second gold in the space of about 24 hours. And just then we saw Ivan Pena, the men's 40-plus. Putting Spain on the Olympic leaderboard there, the medal table.
Over 50s women, it's only a small field. 3 ladies lined up for this, so that's
There are only 3 women out there.
It looks like there's only 3 women out there. So all going to get a medal here.
All right, well,
Let's just see what colours.
our more experienced women competitors on the live stream, 50 plus. You know where to be in about 12 months' time.
You know where to be. Start training. Get that 200 metre speed up. We'll be training on Crumman Creek on Tuesday morning. Be there. They get a couple of minutes, so they've just been called back off the line. They were keen. they were keen.
Excited.
They moved in. Like, let us go. Send me in, coach. I'm ready.
We're still trying to get the official results from that Masters men's final. Pretty clear win from Ivan Pena from Spain. But let us know where you're tuning in and give us your predictions for later. If you're on the live stream on Facebook, on ICF, Planet Canoe, SUP Racer, Total SUP, Age of SUP Tour. There's plenty of Facebook pages carrying this, and of course you might be watching on YouTube. Got the big screen set up at home in the living room on a Saturday evening in Australia. Tell us who you think's going to take out the Open men and women's title in about 35 minutes time, because that's going to be an intense race.
Yeah, I can see a couple of the Open women already getting on the water to warm up, and that's, you know, that is a big key to the preparation here, making sure they get a good warm up. Here's our start list for the over.
So we've got 4 women on the start list. We'll see if we spot them all out there. I can only see 3, but we're obscured a little bit by this gigantic ship next to us. So if there's only 3 women on the line, then they're going to be juggling the medals between them.
3 Chinese and 1 lady from Greece.
All right. My co-commentator, Kelly Margette's getting a few comments of support, saying you should be out there, mate.
Thanks, Trace.
I see Fiona Wild in front of us from the commentary booth, warming up.
I must say, I'm getting quite comfortable sitting in the seat instead of standing on a board. Maybe I found my calling. 47, it could be time to hang up the paddle. Bring on the mic. I'm learning from the best, so.
So Lampia from Greece, 103. Already saw Greece pick up a medal this afternoon. Can they get another one? They got 2 medals yesterday. Punched above their weight, the Greeks. We saw one of the young lads today, Nikos. He was flying in that second semi-final, and he just faded to finish 7th.
Okay, I see the 4th girl out there, Chris. She has been hiding behind the boat, but look.
All right, well then there's going to be 1 unlucky woman out there, because 3 spots on the podium.
Yeah, as you can probably see on the live stream, just a little bit of cloud moving in, touch more wind, expecting a little bit of change in the weather this afternoon with the wind change, so that may make some action for the technical race tomorrow. We're going to be down on the beach. The wind's meant to swing around a little bit more coming in onshore, so yesterday we had the offshore blowing off the land and really creating a really difficult marathon, but tomorrow we're going to have the technical race, and a few little waves, so that might be interesting. I'm not sure what a sort of swell we get here, but any sort of waves could be really, really fun and interesting. I know there's a lot of guys that are really prepping themselves for tomorrow, and it's going to be an exciting beach race for sure.
Yeah, I think a few of the boys actually got quite excited when they heard the forecast might be for some surf down there.
When we say surf, well, we're not sure.
Mean, little ocean rollers. It's not going to be. It's not going to be Crumman Beach, but Ivan Pena official. There he is. The goal goes to Spain. Israel and China pick up the minor medals there. Israel adds to their haul. They've already picked up a few medals.
So does China.
China is raking them in. That's their 8th gold medal. America was out there? I did not spot it.
Over 50s.
All right, I'm going to have a chat with Americo. Did he sneak out there on the start line? I did not spot him, but he's penciled in for 4th.
Ah.
We'll see. But the next race, the women's 50 plus, we'll have the men's 50 plus, a very interesting entrant. I think one of the almost record holders for most Olympic appearances, Marty Marinov from Bulgaria/Australia.
Good friend of ours has just tuned in. You could be here for the over 50s. Bonjour, Elaine. Put you on the race line.
All right, so you see the women just fighting to stay in position because the wind's really starting to pick up now. Fortunately, it's pretty much directly behind them. So it's not going to push them into the lanes or anything. It's not a headwind to fight like it was yesterday. It's basically downwind. So as soon as they start, and here we go, they're off. Looks like only 3 of the women dictate their spot on the line, so they will be juggling the medals here. See if China can add to their medal tally.
They're just building into this race, these ladies.
It's probably not going to be the fastest race of the day, but it's good to see that they're giving the Masters divisions and the separate Masters divisions. I think it's a really good innovation that they didn't just have 40 plus here, but 50 plus. And I think as this event grows, and we see some of the 50 plus superstars over here, it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, well, we know, in Australia and all around the world,
This is photo finish right here.
50 plus is it's actually a huge category in Australia. A lot of competition. It's fiercely challenged. So hopefully some of those guys decide to get out of the marching band started for the ladies 50 plus finish.
Yeah, we got the local band playing in the background, but this is actually going to be a tight finish here. I see our Chinese competitor in the national on the far left has got it by about a board length. Number 23, but our Israeli competitor, our Greek competitor, sorry, Evlampia, charging down the inside. I think she's left her on a little bit late there. So that's going to be another gold medal to China by the looks of it. She's got a nice steady rhythm there. The pink socks on. I like the fashion statement. But she's going to cross the line. There you go, China, another medal.
Another medal.
What's that, 9?
Wow, racking them up.
Wow. So congratulations to Qingdao, the women's 50 plus champion here. Just adds another medal to the bank for China. They're running away on the overall medal tallies.
Quick blade in hand.
Yeah, quick blade medal in hand.
That was the difference.
The difference, surely. But that's 2 golds. And now we go. We're going to wait for the official times, but we're going to run into the men's 50 plus, and I can tell you this is going to be pretty competitive. I'm going to try and quickly jump on Wikipedia and see the exact stats here, but I know the one of the competitors in this 50 plus men's final has been at about 6 or 7 Olympic Games. Here we go, Qingdao from China, 1:19, again not the quickest time of the day, but good to see the 50 plus division getting recognition and getting their own separate races, because in the wider SUP world, that's one of the biggest fields of general mass participants is 50 plus. So China takes another medal. They're adding to their haul, but I'm very excited to watch this next one because Marty Marinoff, who competed in the Olympics as far back as the 1980s and as most recently, I think, as 2012 in London. He was a sprint canoeist, don't quote me on it, but I believe for Bulgaria, then moved to Australia, changed citizenships and raced a few more times for Australia. Ended up coaching the Australian team, now one of the officials with the ICF, but still a pretty fit competitor. I was sitting with him at lunch about an hour and a half ago, and he's about 57. He's got 20 years on me, but he's clearly about 10 times as fit. And it made me feel really guilty for the cookie I was eating.
He definitely looks, he keeps himself in shape, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's what Andre Crater's going to look like in about 25 years' time. Just He-Man. These sprint canoers are built. There's some serious units. SUP paddlers, apart from maybe Michael Booth, they generally don't stack on the muscle so much. But the sprint canoers, when it's a 200-meter just all-out smash fest, they really, really do.
Yeah, that power to
beef
weight
up
ratio of long-distance racing, obviously.
There you go, at the top of the list. Martin Marinoff celebrated his birthday yesterday at the Skybar course, and Marty, I'm going to try and get a quick stat for you. I believe it's 7-time Olympian, something crazy like this.
Ross is having a race.
Ross is having a crack. Nice. All right, Ross Solly, Great Britain down the bottom. But Freethoff Sack actually going to be one of the favourites here. Number 95, I know his daughter, Noelani Sack, one of the top junior women in Europe in the wider paddling world. She's cheering on for her dad from home. We saw her on the live stream, and her brother's coming up a little later, Maui Sack. So father and son both competing in the finals here. Freethoff was pretty impressive out there yesterday. believe he picked up, was it the silver? I believe he got a silver medal in the long distance race.
Yeah, he led a lot of that race too.
He's looking to go one better here.
I think he will. I think he was a little disappointed not taking the gold, leading a lot of the race. Maybe made a little mistake in the end and had a fall. And so yeah, he'll be trying to go one better this afternoon as the sun comes back out through the cloud to shine down upon these over 50 men.
Yeah. All right. It's getting toasty again.
Yeah, we just put on all these extra layers. I'm just going to stay warm.
Okay, Pena. Stop. Okay, take the photo. Yes, all the players, all the athletes. And then team.
As we wait here, they are just getting themselves ready, getting the officials ready from the last race. These 50 plus men.
That'll be you in a few years, mate.
Not far away.
Well, not far behind you. I'll be masters in a few years as well. 40 plus.
I don't feel it. I think I'm starting to look.
If you don't feel it, then get out there and race. Come on, mate. There's Marty Marinoff. Yeah, that's a very fit man right there. Mid-50s and probably fitter than most 25-year-olds. He's actually going to be very tough to beat. Freithof from Germany is going to have his work cut out for him against Marty because,
especially in this sprint when it does come down to the power.
Yeah,
you know, there's a lot of power. It looks like in that man.
And the wind, it's gusting down now.
It's definitely picking up a little bit.
It's definitely picking up, and it's pretty much straight tailwind. So there's going to be some cracking times in open men and women's. They could be setting records here. Not sure what the official rules are on calling a world record in SUP racing. I don't think that's really been worked out yet, but I know in athletics, if you have too much of a tailwind, it doesn't count.
We'll make the rules today.
But I'd say that's going to go pretty close to that apparent record of Danny Ching's, the 47 seconds at the Lost Mills fastest paddler about 5 years ago from memory.
That's impressive.
But what we saw in the heats, 50 seconds when they were taking it off for the last 10 metres, and with more favourable conditions and more intense racing, you'd think they'd take another 2 or 3 seconds off that.
I hate to think how fast these guys are going to go.
There's Freithof Sack from Germany. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. But silver medalist yesterday in the long distance race. Freithof, quick blade paddle in hand on the NSP, representing Team Germany. The father of Maui Sack, who's coming up in the junior men's shortly, and the father of one of the champion, especially ocean paddlers, Noelani Sack out of Germany. She won a couple of the Euro Tour downwind races over the past 18 months. And I believe this was our gold medalist yesterday, Ophir Ram. He shaped his own board. That's the board, one of those focus boards that he actually designed. So he was pretty pumped to win the gold medal yesterday on his own board. And the 50 plus had a good battle with Sven Rasmussen from Starboard.
Yeah, that was a good race yesterday. You know, and again in testing conditions.
So you can see they're still milling around back from the start line. So we're still a few minutes away here, folks.
And down in front of us, we're seeing the junior men and just starting to warm up a little bit here. So
yeah, the schedule. I don't know if we can have a quick look at the schedule, but I can read it off the sheet I'm looking at now. After this is the Masters 50 plus. We've just got 3 more titles to decide. And we're coming down to the business end after this. It's the junior men, which was some of the fastest racing we've seen all day in the qualifiers.
I'm excited for that race. This is going to be the real deal.
The open women will be right after that. So about 15 minutes time from now. And then the open men, the final event of the day, the headliner, that's going to be intense. There's some very fast paddlers not in that final because they just weren't quick enough to qualify. And
that's how it works.
Generally. Am I stating the obvious?
Yeah.
But no, there's Ty Judson was about 10th in his semi-final.
Yeah.
Jackson Maynard, these boys were right off the pace.
Yeah, but you know, they're not. There's some sprint specialists in this race. You know?
Well, there's about 25 sprint specialists from what we've seen.
Yeah, that's right. And like we've talked about, there's a big mix of nationalities, a few new names in there that a lot of people, traditional SUP fans, wouldn't have heard of before. So it's exciting to see this race and see, you know, a few new faces and get recognised for a whole nother discipline in our sport, really.
Yeah. No, it's going to be very interesting. I'm very excited to see if one of the Canoe boys, Andre Crater in particular, probably the top contender for a medal outside of the powerhouse SUP names. But he's not really far outside of that because he was about half a nose behind Claudio's record semi-final time. So this is going to be intense.
I nearly hope, just for the storytelling, that one of them does.
It would be a good story.
It would be a good story,
especially for Andre, seeing he's on his third borrowed board of the day. Based out of here in China, him and his partner, they live here. He's only 26 years of age.
Yeah,
He's born in Ukraine, represents Russia now, and went to, from memory, just one Olympics, then got the coaching gig for the Chinese women's sprint canoe team. And all of a sudden now he's based out of here at China. So he's already had an interesting life, Andre, and could become an ICF world champion in the process. So we see some of the open women warming up in front of us. I see Suzanne Molinaro on that unmistakable razzle-dazzle paddling past us. She wasn't far off the pace in the heats.
She's giving us a wave, always smiling. She's loves being on the water, loves racing.
Oh.
Great attitude towards the sport and great ambassador for.
Great karaoke performer as well, Suzanne Molinaro, famous for it. But she travels the world. Her boyfriend, Paolo Marconi, two of the nicest paddlers you'll ever meet.
I see Taryn King also just getting on the board over there, warming up. She's going to be a favourite.
Yeah, I know.
For this women's final.
I know Taryn's got plenty of family watching from back home in South Africa. There's Marty Marinoff, number 5. I'm going to call it unofficially. Statistic is that he's a 7-time Olympian. I think it's around that. He almost holds the record for most Olympic appearances. Formerly, I believe, from Bulgaria, possibly Romania, but now represents Team Australia for the last 15-odd years. Yeah, we'll take him. He's bloody fit. He's a fit 50-plus man if you've ever seen one. I hope I'm half that fit when I'm 50-plus. But he was actually the head coach of Canoeing Australia, I believe, for a number of years. He's got an official role within the ICF now, but he's going to be, I'd possibly say, the one to watch. I actually saw him, he brought 2 paddles down. One of them was an actual C1 paddle with an extended shaft that must have been about 140 square inch blade.
That blade just came out of the water then. It did look pretty big too, so he's got the shoulders to pull it, I'm sure.
There's Frithov from Germany, Afir from Israel on his handmade board.
Oh, yeah. A turn around here. This wind just playing a little bit of havoc, so we don't mind them taking a little bit longer to get ready. We want this as fair as possible. These guys are racing for a gold medal here, and it doesn't matter what age group, what division you're in. When you're on that start line, you want to have your best opportunity at getting the result you're here for. So we're just spinning it around.
Yeah, the wind's starting to kick in.
Yeah. And as you all know, anyone that try and stop still on a SUP with a tailwind and the big body, a couple of big frames out there, be catching the wind, just pushing them forward. Okay, get this.
All right, there's our boy, Marty Marinoff, representing Team Australia on the 425 Pro. I saw Jerry from 425 wandering around here in the athletes area earlier. He'll be looking for a gold medal performance, but have a look at that NSP in the center. I saw Elaine Turkatiles tune in from Australia. He shaped that board. Can Frithov Sack take home the gold for Team Germany in the 50-plus division? They're still getting called back behind the line. Yeah, they're well over right there.
Yeah.
That's a good board length over the line there, mate. Just creep back there a little bit if you can.
And it's hard. You paddle backwards and nose moves. What? Oh, that's...
All right, a couple of boys might have taken a little bit of a sneaky stroke there, but clean enough start. That's Marty Marinoff, though. Marty Marinoff in the center. Super strong. He's done this a million times before on one knee, but now he's standing up and he's trying to beat the German, who's got a much higher cadence there. Frithov Suck's got the Katarina Stenta style going at 100 strokes a minute. He's trying to keep pace, but Marty Marinoff, he only needs to take 1 stroke a second. Look at those muscles working, and he's getting off. He's got the slight Jimmy Terrell split stance going, but he's already opened up a couple of board lengths. He's just muscling his way through this. So Frithov from Germany's got all the work to do. Ophir from Israel is in the virtual bronze right now. So right now it's Australia, Germany, Israel, but no one's going to catch Marty unless he takes the foot off because he is charging. Wow, absolutely hammering. Everything you see on that shirt there is all muscle. Believe me, he's a fit bloke, and he's using every muscle to his advantage. He's going to cross the line and take the 50-plus title. Marty Marinoff, 7-time Olympian, and now ICF SUP gold medalist.
Close finish there for silver.
Close finish. Frithov Suck from Germany will get another silver. Denied top step on the podium, though, by one of the most, most capped Olympians in history, Marty Marinoff. A bit of a legend in the canoe world. I know Jim Terrell from Quickblade used to compete against this guy. I was actually joking with Marty the other day. I was like, do you remember Jim Terrell? I was like, no, I don't remember him. He was probably behind me. He was actually one of the top guys in the world, Marty, back in the 80s. And still competed for Australia until he was about 49, 50 years old in the Olympics. So, Australia, there we go. Australia, another gold.
Yeah, they do. Hear the anthem again today.
All right.
Very nice.
We'll have a nice sing-along this evening. Sunset. But look at that. That's one of the lowest cadences we've seen.
That's just sheer
all
power.
day. He's just
sheer power.
Look at that technique. That is basically just canoeist standing up.
Yep.
That's just add enough extra foot to the shaft and you adapt it pretty quick. But you can see the canoeists at the finish there, the way they just put the blade in and kind of lean on one side because they're used to being in a boat with no fin on it, the sprint canoes. We saw Tommy Boudet took that to the extreme where he tried to launch his nose over the line.
Yeah, he
Sprint canoe style.
Well, he had that one. He only had one spot, didn't he? And he just missed out.
So we'll wait for the official results there from the men's 50-plus final. Solid showing from the Aussie there, Marty Marinoff. But now we're getting seriously down to the business end because we've got 3 races left. And the next one, I can't wait for the open men's showdown, but I'm almost more excited about the junior men's showdown.
This
is kind of the headliner for me.
We've been talking about this one all day, and this is going to be an exciting race. This is going to, you know, we just saw Marty there. He's a big guy. He was all power. And, you know, this is nearly, we've got the junior version of this about to happen. We've got Big K. He's all power.
Yeah.
It's a little slower stroke rate. And then you've got the Rye.
Here we go. The result's going to
drop.
drop. He broke the minute there, Marty Marinoff.
Wow, yeah, he did.
So 50 plus, still going sub 60 seconds. If you think you can match that on your training runs around the world, throw it down next year. But I don't think many people will be able to because that is quick.
That is quick.
So he's only a few seconds behind the open boys there. Marty Marinoff. Frithov Suck gets his second silver of the week. Ophir gets his second medal, but it's a bronze this time for Israel. Okay, so we're back. We're going to get ready for the junior men's final in about a minute's time.
Oh, there's one of my favourites paddling by in front of us here, Chris, warming up for the open men's.
I can see Claudio warming up. Your pick, you penciled him in
in
dark letters. You didn't pen him in, you didn't tattoo him in, but you can claim that if he wins.
I will now. I nickied him in.
Yeah.
Nico. Well,
you put him in
Nico.
Nico.
Know what a Nico is.
Permanent marker.
Permanent marker.
So Jack Seymour, one to watch in this sprint final, got a bronze yesterday for Team Canada, based out of Hong Kong there. But Kei Komatsuyama, the silver medalist, Rai Taguchi, the gold medalist. Vid, my boy, from Slovenia. Come on, mate. Vid Ostrabank, I think he watched his father race about 10 minutes ago. Hopefully got some inspiration there. And Maui Sak from Germany. Bit of an outside chance for a medal himself. Join his father.
Got 2 of the Chinese boys in there.
Yes.
They pushed Kay to the line in the semi-finals. So there's your
Yeah,
boy,
there was Wu and Hao, that the two Chinese boys that were very solid in the semi-finals. There's my boy Vid. But Wei Ting Yi, he was a little just off the pace in the semis. But Hao Zheng, there's our boy.
Yeah, he doesn't quite have the size of a couple of the other boys, but gee, he gets it going. There he is, 74.
That's 74. That's Mr. Gameface right there.
Yeah,
Wu. He's going to be a medal contender. There's Jack looking relaxed.
He looks really relaxed.
He looks very relaxed. He's
Nice
he's
Jack.
got the Michael Booth playbook.
Yeah.
Coached by Michael Booth and learnt from his mentor that you don't want to be too nervous on the start line. But there's the Japanese lads.
Wow,
Surely the gold medal
shoulder
favourites.
to shoulder. This will be a race.
But they don't want to go too hard that they take each other out, because if they clash rails and miss a stroke, that could be all the other boys need. So they'll want to finish first and second, but they also both want to win. So it's going to be very interesting to see how fair they play with each other.
If you're watching on the live stream on Facebook, just give us a shout out who you think's gonna.
You throw down a bold prediction. Ghana's going to be
throw 'em out
Kay,
there.
Rai, Jack, one of the Chinese boys, Maui.
Vid, Chris's boy.
Yep, Khan Vid.
Oh,
There's drinks on the line at the Sky Bar. We had a few side bets. I actually had a bet with Vinnie Martins at lunch. He said Arthur was going to win the Open Men's, and I said, all
Ooh,
right, I'll take just
nice.
everyone else. And he was so bold, he said, you can have the rest of the field.
Wow.
I just want Arthur. I was like, all right,
Arthur versus the world.
drinks on the line. So there's
All
Arthur
right.
versus the world coming up.
Well, I've got Rye here, so
All right,
let's see.
let's see.
Anyone out there in social media world want to put their hand up here? Who they think can take this junior? And the speed of these guys. These guys could be racing in the open final. They are moving quick. So let's keep a good eye on the times here.
I'd say at least 3 of them would have qualified for the men's final, the Open Men's final. There's Maui Sack. We just saw his father race moments ago. His sister's on the live stream watching, cheering from home. He's got that NSP board, famously under the feet of the likes of Tituan and Travis, Ty Judson. So he's in good company with the NSPs.
Yeah, he gets
But
it.
there he is, Mr. Gameface. Whoa, look at him. He's ready.
He
He's
is
ready for a
ready.
medal. They're just creeping now
Right.
towards the virtual start line, and then they'll try and hold him up.
Ease off, boys.
Yeah, don't roll too fast, because then we're going to be here for a few minutes waiting for you to get back. Well, they actually stopped pretty good there.
Yeah,
They got good
listening.
ball control.
Listening.
Alrighty. So, Shen Yujiong, the Chinese, rolling deep here. Obviously, the host nation here in Qingdao for the ICF Worlds.
We got a couple of predictions coming in. Mal, she thinks Kay's
Kay,
got it with
Jacko.
Jacko silver.
Jacko's going
got
awry.
I'm with
Pretty
you,
good
Jacko.
bet there. Pretty good bet there. I'm still holding on for Vid. I want to see Slovenia on the podium.
Yeah, it'd be nice, but
Nah, those Japanese boys are strong.
they look relaxed. Here we go. Oh,
Oh, was that? That was
that's it.
that was not a false start,
Nah,
but it almost was.
nearly was.
They started false starting so
Okay.
early that it wasn't a false start. Just creeping over the line there, a few nerves. It's okay, taking a couple early strokes there.
Take the set out of it. Just get them ready and go, I say. No horn, no start. You got that, everyone?
Okay, so don't
Another
take a
shout
stroke until the
out.
horn blows. It's
Shout
pretty
out
simple.
for Jack. All right, this is going to be a race. It's one of our highlight races for the day. for
Here we
sure.
go.
We've
This
been-
is gonna
we've been
be-
building this up all day. So
Pay attention, folks. It's going to last less than 60
here
seconds. Here we
That's
go.
a good fair start.
The boys are off nice and clean in the center of the
Kay.
screen. Kay got the best of it. Rai is already behind by a board. He got stuck out here, but Gameface Wu is out flying. Rai is scratching to catch Kay, but Kay's had an absolute blind of a start, but it's Mr. Gameface Wu for China, the host nation, virtual leading, but now Kay moves up. He's probably got the best of it now. They're charging about the 100-meter mark. Kay's probably half a board length in front. It's hard to tell on this angle, but he's got at least a board over his compatriot. Rai's got some work to do, but Kay, he's blitzing the field here. He's got a board length over everybody. Rai's scratching now. He's pulling
Here
up
comes
alongside
Rai.
him
Here comes
on his
Rai.
V.
Here's my boy.
Oh,
Here's my boy.
30 metres to go. 25 metres to go. 20 metres to go. It's going to be side by side. The two Japanese lads are going to go gold and silver. Who's going to get it? Rai. Kay, stroke for stroke. Right to Gucci, pulling up the final seconds. He's about to get it. It's going to be a photo finish.
Oh, my
Oh,
God. Woo!
who took that?
I think it was Kay.
We go.
Wow. Wow, they did not
What a
disappoint.
fight.
Hey? Rye just missed that start and had to just battle back into it.
And our angle on that finish line is a little deceptive. It's slightly angled because they saved the perfect angle for the timing camera, which we don't get a live feed, obviously. So on our angle, it looked like Rye had got him at the finish, but I got a feeling
close.
Kay hung on
I
there.
think Kay got him. Kay just had that nose in front. Wow, and that was just, Rye looked like he was coming over the top of him with 30 to go, and Kay wasn't having a piece of that. He just dug back in.
That's going to be photo finish. We might not get the results for a couple of minutes here, folks. They're going to have to analyse that. They've got a pretty...
That's the first time I've seen him look tired.
They got a very... here we go. Let's see the start. Yeah, right.
Oh, just
missed half a stroke. And Kay is just so strong off the line there.
And this is what we were talking about earlier. Having two favourites in the same line, Rye had to deal with the wash coming off Kay's board. And he uses it here to try and slingshot bat up, but it didn't. Here he comes at him now.
Look at this, at the
that.
death. He was just half aboard the whole, and then almost the finish. We don't get the best angle hit. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the angle's going to favour Rye. From
the angle actually does favour Rye, but
it's that's Kay for sure.
Maybe the reverse angle will show us. Oh, nose for nose.
Stroke there. Wow.
I think Kay hung on. That angle looks like Kay got it by about half a metre, which is a tenth of a stroke.
They did not disappoint, the boys. Eh? We knew that was going to be an exciting race. It was going to come down to the wire, and it really did. And it just goes to show every stroke counts. Those couple off to the start for Rye really cost him in the overall. But hey, you got to. It's a 200-metre race. You got to make it count for the whole 200 metres, and that's what Kay did.
Did we pay attention to who got bronze? I didn't.
I actually think it was. I think it was Wu out wide.
I think Game Face, we might have picked that up. Yeah, Jack. We're going to have a look there, but Japan has gone 1-2 in the junior men's race for the second day in a row, and Kay's got it by 33 hundredths of a second, 3/10 of a second. He's pipped his teammate Rai Taguchi.
Wow.
But Wu got pipped by his compatriot. So Guitong Yi is taking it out. Young Wu, Mr. Gameface. And Jack was pushed all the way down to 7th. Vid Osterbank, my pick, was 6th. So the Chinese boys swept the minor placings there, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. But they couldn't match the Japanese lads.
52.58. So that's
Maui Sak 8th there. Not far off the pace. He shows the quality of the field here. Maui was 8th, and he was still less than 7 seconds. So on average, less than a second between the top 8 finishers, but God, a third of a second between Kay and Rye. That was hectic. That race should have probably been scheduled last, because the open men have got their work cut out to match that.
I don't think the last race is going to disappoint us either. We've got the ladies coming up next, open women, and this is going to be another highly contested race.
Who'd you pick?
I'm going to go with Katarina. We're going
to try and throw the start list up now. They're still getting ready up there. They're not even in the starting zone yet. So we've got a couple of minutes to wait. We'll run through. We're going to hold the start list for you so we can get a good form guide preview here. Kelly, you've already picked Katarina.
Yeah, I was impressed with her heat this morning.
I'm going Jessica Souza from Brazil.
Okay, that's nice.
Number 10, she's it's not really a bold prediction because she blitzed it.
Yeah.
Absolutely blitzed it on Arthur Santa Cruz board, the Magic Sprint board. Lena Ribeiro, a little bit off the pace compared to a compatriot.
I was actually impressed with Olivia.
Olivia was up there.
Yeah, she's not known for sprinting, and she even at lunchtime was quite surprised that she went so well. So, so I really think it's going to be up there between Jessica and
Jessica I think's got to be the top pick, but the second page there, look at that talent in the field. Katarina Stenta missed 110 strokes a minute. Rika Okawaki had to qualify through in the second chance round, so she's got her work cut out. But Taryn King, one of the fastest sprinters in the world from South Africa. Suzanne Molinaro has been looking good. Siri Schubert from Switzerland, she was a little bit off the pace, but she actually could qualify for the Masters Series, but she wanted to mix it with
good on
the Open Women. So, but Fiona Wild, I don't know if she's in gold medal contention, but she's definitely in medal contention. I think it's going to come down to, I'd say, bold predictions podium, Jessica, Katarina, maybe Taryn or Suzak. but my pick is definitely Brazil. You sticking with Italy, Katarina?
Yeah, well, we don't want to be, we
Can't
could have
both
a
be the
little
same.
Yeah, we can't be the same.
It's
No,
only
I
one
really
drink
think-
online at the Sky Bar.
Well, neither of us won the last one. Your guy ended up
I think-
8th and
I
mine
think-
was 2nd.
I
So
think
that's 6 drinks, isn't
We
it?
owe
Sixth place is
Team
6
Japan
drinks?
a round, I'd say.
When are they old enough to shout us around? Not for a while yet, but here we are. The girls, they're just starting to form a line. Back
Stephanie.
behind the...
Stephanie from Israel, she snuck through from the repechage. There's Taryn King and the unmistakable. She's got the Tour de France style leader's jersey on there.
yeah, she does.
But she actually is one of the favourites. There's young Riko Kawaki from Zamami Island of Japan.
Not a big frame, but gets that board moving.
Yep, she's going to have to match the technique of Takayo, who won the Open Women's, just with full body technique. Kind of the bounce technique in the sprint, if you're a lighter frame.
The whip.
The whip.
We got a couple of predictions
Olivia.
coming in online. Jacko's calling Jessica.
Yeah, she was
Get
impressive
off
in
the
that heat.
bandwagon. Taryn, we
No,
got
that's
Taryn.
a safe bet right there,
Yeah,
Jacko.
it's
I'm
a
with
pretty
you.
safe bet. We'll,
Taryn, yeah. All right. And Marie Stein Frick.
Olivia on screen. She's a dark horse for this one. I know we're used to seeing her up the front of the distance races, but this is definitely not, we know her name, but it's not her.
That's Siri Schubert from Switzerland, 164. But actually, the whole podium from yesterday is in this final. Fiona bronze, Olivia silver, Sonny gold. But I don't think any of them will take today's gold.
No, I'm not going to.
I don't want to count it out because they might just match the podium again and make us that they've got to buy 6 rounds of drinks tonight.
Fiona
But
on screen.
Fiona Wild.
Fiona gets a little the rating up and gets the speed
She's
going.
actually she's on the starboard all-star.
Okay.
I think pretty much every other starboard athlete's been on the sprint. Interesting board choice. But
What she's comfortable
there's Jessica
with.
Souza, number 10. Katarina next to her. So 2 of the favourites. There's Lena Ribeiro from Brazil. So this is going to be interesting. A couple of the big names right next to each other, but I've got my eye on Jessica Souza.
They're just in the glare now, but they're just rolling up towards the line. So start to get them off nice and clean.
So there's Taryn in the fluoro. There's Katarina. That's your 2 favourites on the screen right now. Great shot from the production
Well,
crew.
they're
That's
next to each
Jessica.
other too.
I think the top qualifiers were seated next to each other in the centre lane. So Katarina, miss 105 strokes a minute, and Jessica Souza. Jessica looks pretty focused right there.
Yeah, she looks actually quite relaxed. That's a good sign.
So we're going to...
Wind gust a little here.
That's going to...
You can see them just altering the nose of the board. The wind just swinging them round a little bit.
Okay, we're getting close to starters' orders. They're trying to march them back
I'm
behind the
getting
line.
nervous. So,
Alrighty, can South Africa take a gold here? Taryn King, Olivia Piana. Can she get another medal?
oh, we're off.
They're off. All right, fast start from Olivia, but a super fast start. Suzak got the best of it, like a little rocket out there. Taryn King, a great start as well. Olivia, a nice start. But Jessica and Katarina got a little bit caught up in the middle. Olivia's got the best of it now. Katarina's starting to charge down. Lena Ribeiro's getting pushed out the back there in rough water. Katarina, half ball length back. I'd say Suzak and Olivia at the moment. It's a blanket. Taryn King is next to Suzak there. So Olivia Piana looking good. Jessica's starting to move through the field. Katarina, I'd say right now, Jessica Souza moving up. Virtual lead alongside Olivia. This is going to be a photo finish. Taryn King is charging through in the yellow as well on the outside. There's about 4 or 5 women in contention for gold here. Taryn King on the outside. Left bottom, there's Jessica Souza, number 10.
Oh, she's coming.
She's got the virtual lead.
Oh, she's
Taryn
coming.
King is charging. Taryn King,
Relay.
Olivia, Jessica going for the gold. There's
Jessica
nothing in it
just
right now. They're
coming
20 metres from the finish. Jessica's trying to hang on. Taryn is
Olivia.
surging. Olivia is
Olivia's-
surging. If Olivia wins this, are you kidding? She's got half of those in
Olivia's
front.
got it.
Olivia's going to take it. Jessica at the line. Taryn charging. Suzak. Olivia Piana takes the gold. No way.
So we
I don't know, either second or third, I don't know.
Wow.
Woo! Number 88, Olivia Piana from France, takes the gold medal provisionally. Surprises herself and us
Oh, that
and everyone watching around the world that thought she was just a distance paddler. But Taryn King was so close. I thought she had it.
Oh, so was Lena was coming at her, Jessica was coming at her there in the final moment.
I don't think Olivia can believe it. She's going to give Taryn a hug. So provisionally, it looks like Olivia took the gold. Taryn a photo finish for the silver. Wow.
The girls in the middle just
What a
didn't
fight.
get that start, did they? We'll see the replay of that and see if anything happened, but they didn't quite get the start.
Oh. All right, Jacko, we owe Olivia a drink. That's, we picked that wrong.
Sure, take it.
But, wow.
Wow.
I think Olivia is as shocked as we are.
Okay, so I'm not going to make a prediction for the next race.
No,
I'm just
forget
gonna
it,
sit back
forget
and-
it.
Sit back and watch.
We're
But
throwing it down to the viewers because Olivia sitting down on a rogue board. And she's just taking it. Look at that. She's still surprised.
Me? No. Yeah, you. Yes, you.
Oh, she's a classic.
Oh,
She
there
can't
you
believe
go.
it. She's stoked.
Yes.
Gonna get her a hug from her good friend Suzanne Molinaro, who looks like she was just outside the medals in 4th again.
Oh.
So Suzanne, 2 4th places, I think. Sonny giving her a high five there.
I tell you
Sorry,
what,
that's Paolo in the background there.
I tell you, the champion that Olivia is, once they get in that competitive area, she wasn't going to let that go.
No.
You know? Jessica
And she
was coming
served.
over
She
the
wasn't
top
winning
of
the first half.
No, she can't, as we see the open men starting to warm up in front of us. But wow, we'd like to see a replay of the start there. But thank you.
She had a pretty good start there.
She did. Look at that. Good tack.
Focused. Always got a game face, Olivia, when she's racing, and then she just goes all smiles at the finish. But she actually did have a good start there. And Taryn in the yellow there, and Suzak next to her were really good. Jessica missed the start a little, as did Katarina, and had to work hard. So that's Jessica and Olivia on the right there. On the left, it's Taryn, the front 3. And it was neck and neck, basically from there, the final 75 metres, all the way to the line. You can see here, Olivia takes it, and then it's a basic photo finish. Taryn, Jessica, Suzak just behind Suzak.
Oh.
The bridesmaid just off the medal dais again.
Yeah, you can just see just through the middle of the race, about the 100-metre mark, Olivia just looked strong. You know, she had a good rhythm, a power, and that was enough just to keep her in front.
Yep.
And made those other girls. She got out early, made them chase her.
Oh, that was exciting.
That was exciting. We got this next one. I don't even know how you're going to call this next one. This is.
We might just mute the microphones and let you
Yeah.
watch. This is going to be hectic. But Olivia, 58.6.
Wow, Jessica
That
takes
is quick.
the bronze.
So Jessica officially,
Oh, sorry, this one.
Jessica takes the silver. Taryn gets the bronze. Suzak,
Oh, Fiona.
just outside. Fiona came back like a little rocket for the 5th there. Rika 6. Good result from Rika. That's her second 6th place finish in 2 days. Katarina, she wasn't taking 105 strokes there. She's a little bit off the
just
pace.
didn't quite get the
Only
start.
less than 5 seconds between the top 8. That shows the class. Lena Ribeiro in 8th, 4.9 back. And then Yang Lu, a couple of Chinese competitors. Stephanie, Siri, Constantina, and Naomi rounding out there, the top 14. Here at the 2019 ICF Worlds, we're getting to the closing stages of day 2 competition.
Yeah, you can see the sun starting to set behind the open men's.
So here's the start list. Let's hold this. We're going to run through a form guide. Christian Tauscher, one of the dark horses, but Arthur Santa Cruz, definitely not a dark horse. He's many people's picks, including Vinnie Martins, who we've got a side bet with. But Ollie Schwartz was impressive in the heats. Bruno Husulio. Claudio Nica, though, 127. He's got to be the favourite. I'd say Arthur and Claudio. His brother, Leo Nica, not far off the pace. Paolo was looking pretty good in the heats. Arvis, though, he's got the just hammer start. Trevor Tunnington,
Wow.
just fresh off the boat into the final. And then the one to watch, Andre Crater. If Jenny's not far off the pace, but Andre Crater, he's probably my pick. And then Connor Baxter, well, he can do anything.
Okay, come on, ladies
All right,
and
so
gentlemen. Let's see who you got.
who's going to be really bold here?
Seriously.
Khan Jacko, everyone watching at home, who's going to win the men's race?
But this is going to come down to.
I'm going Andre, just to throw it out there.
This is going to come down to millimetres. One
Yep.
half a stroke missed can cost you a medal here, for sure. Everything has to go right. You've got to, from that first stroke, you've got to be ready. Hit that catch, get that board speed up, cadence, power. That combination. And then, and then there's, they're gonna have to push all the way to the line. There's no room for error.
All right, Matthew Abbott from Canada is calling out Con back for the win.
Yeah,
Not a bad pick. He looked very good in that first heat.
See Arthur warming up in the background there.
Yeah, Arthur Santa Cruz on that unique Brazilian design board. There's Ollie Schwartz from Germany. He's, if things went his way, it'd be a very, very dark horse pick for the medals, but I don't think he's going to have the pace to match the Arthurs, the Connors, the Claudios,
We got
the Andres, the Arvises.
Baxter there.
Jacko.
Andre.
Yeah, he's getting on the Andre bandwagon. I like that. This is... I hope I don't have to buy too many drinks tonight, but he's my pick. Andre Crater from Russia. I believe...
It'd be good to have a name we don't know win.
it would.
You know, just
Connor Baxter's won every race in the world.
every race. Share it round, Connor.
Trevor Tunnington came here to film the race, so that's an absolute story right there. Trevor Tunnington was thrown into the deep end by his team boss, Fen Rasmussen from Starboard, and said, Trev, you got to go represent tomorrow, and he's in the final now. Definitely didn't train for this, but he's such a fast sprinter that he's a real medal chance. But that boy right there, what do you reckon?
Connor's
Claudio
on the
Nica.
All-Star as well. Is that right?
It looks like he's on the All-Star. There you can see a couple of the sprints out there from the Starboard crew, but Connor and Fiona have always preferred the All-Star. It's interesting. Most of the crew, Boothie and everyone, like that dugout sprint. There's Steve Bretto, one of the Canoe boys from Germany. Olympic training partner, Sebastian Brendel, I think, is lining up in this final with him. Those boys are going to want to get some real clean water at the start because they were looking good when they had clean water and they were struggling when they didn't. And there's a lot of fast lads all around them here. There's Paolo Marconi. He just watched his girlfriend, Suzanne, get fourth. He'll want to go one or two better.
Andre for
Paul
sure.
Jackson. 5 drinks on falling in. Trev. Trevor Tunnington famously fell in when he was defending his Lost Meals fastest paddler title. And he was dirty about 4 years ago there.
But that's what it comes down to. There's pressure on this. Like, everyone knows that anyone in this race can win. It is.
Come on, Bart DeSwart, throw out a name.
Yeah, come on, Bart. Who you
You're the
got?
team manager for Starboard. You got about 8 athletes in this final, I know. But it looks like, is that Andre on a Starboard?
Oh, he's picked up a
I
Starboard.
think Andre picked up at an All-Star there. But there's Evgeny, the other Russian boy. So 155 Evgeny Kotsur, 154 Andre Crater. Probably, here we go, Jackson Maynard watching. Jackson knocked out in the semi-finals by Andre, I believe. So he got a pretty good look.
I think Jackson told me he let him get through. Is that right, Jacko?
So if one of the vanquished athletes from the Open Men's is calling Andre, that's a pretty good call right there. Wow, this is going to be very interesting, folks. I don't know how we're going to call this, Callie, because it's going to last about 50 seconds tops.
Wow. Not
And
even.
there's
It
got to
won't
be
even
8 or
make
9
50
names out of the 15 who are genuine gold medal chances. And pretty much, maybe a couple of the boys there are a little lucky to be in the final, but most of them are medal contenders.
there's.
And
You're
good,
gonna
at
be
least
able to-
half a dozen gold medal
Here we
contenders here.
come. You're going to be able to throw a blanket over this field.
That's Andre Crater from Russia, 154. I'd say him and Claudio, probably the most impressive in the earlier heats, along with Connor and Arthur. They're all pretty bloody impressive, actually.
Bart said he knows who's going to win. He's just keeping it to himself.
Good call, Bart. Very politically correct from the Starboard team manager, but they're getting towards the line. We're just seconds away here, folks. They're under starters orders. They're going to drift in
Look at this line.
and then try to hold it between those virtual orange boys there. The virtual start
the most
line.
competitive 200-meter race that the world's ever seen in summer.
Okay, now they've got to stop and hold it, and this is when the race director starts yelling to get back, because you know the boys love to creep. But if one of them false starts, the whole field gets a mark against their name, and then if someone false starts after that, they're straight out. So here we go. All right, a clean start. Incredible, they're off.
Back there.
And who's got the best? Bruno Suyo got a clean start. Claudio Nica, though, in the center. Andre Crater, though, off like a rocket. Look at this guy. Are you kidding me? He's going at 300 strokes a minute. He's got the virtual leaders like Connor Baxter, Claudio Nica, and Andre Crater. 1, 2, 3. There's Claudio on the lane next to him, surging now as Connor Baxter's nose coming into view. The 3 starboards. Connor is surging. Claudio is surging. Andre tiring just a little bit. Connor's surging now. Arthur Santa Cruz in 4th. Connor going at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Look at that technique. He's got a board length over Claudio. Arthur can't get around Claudio's tail. Andre looks like he's in 3rd. This is hectic. Connor Baxter's got a board length and he's surging. He's pulling away from Claudio. He's pulling away from Andre. Arthur's moving up into virtual 3rd now. Connor Baxter's going to take it. 10 metres to go. He's going to go over the line. Connor Baxter takes it.
46
No way. Connor Baxter in a record time.
Oh my gosh.
Woo! Claudio
Connor.
Nika in second, and it was pretty tight for third between Arthur Santa Cruz and our boy Andre Crador. Oh my God, that was intense, and around 47.5 seconds. Danny Ching, your record might be in jeopardy there, mate.
Wow.
That was hectic. Connor Baxter. What a result. He sat out the distance race yesterday. He wanted to focus on the sprints and the beach race, and it's paid off. He's the new ICF stand-up paddling sprint world champion, Connor Baxter.
Oh my gosh. And that was from the first stroke. He hit that first stroke and got his nose in front and never looked back.
Wow. So we're...
That was impressive.
pretty good call from Turtles up there, going Connor first, Arthur second. I think Arthur got bumped back into about, well, third or fourth, because Claudio got through in second.
Yeah, and well, Claudio actually, he was a little bit behind. His nose was a little bit behind in the start.
Bart says he knew it.
He knew it, of course he knew.
So Matt Abbott, Matt from Turtles up, and apparently Bart all picked Connor. But
wow.
that was very interesting.
That
So
was
Connor
impressive.
Baxter.
That was impressive.
I don't know why we didn't pick him after what we saw him do in the first heat.
Yeah.
He's sending a signal from the
Here
very
we
first
go.
heat of the day. Let's look at the start. That's Connor Baxter, the starboard closest to
He's
us.
clean. He's got no one next to him.
And
There.
it's,
He's got clean water, and he just gets his nose in front from the start.
I'd say Andre was virtually in line with him there. That's Andre's got his nose onto the right of the center lane. Connor and Claudio are the two leaders on the left side there. And Arthur got messy water. He got stuck behind Claudio and just couldn't get past him. You see Andre digging, but Connor,
Yeah, just
look
kept
at that
accelerating.
technique.
Kept
Right next to the
accelerating.
lane there. See Arthur getting boxed out. Claudio, that's Andre Crate on the right in virtual third there, but Connor just, it wasn't even a photo finish
I
in
think
the end.
Arthur's might get his nose through.
Let's
for
see
third
who's
here.
third. I think it's Arthur.
He did.
That angle favours Andre. He does the sprint canoe push, but he's going to be fourth.
Look at the
Connor
smile on
Baxter.
Connor's face. The grimace and the smile
Gosh.
together.
He left nothing out there.
Wow.
He looks around. He's like, I think I was first.
Wow. Claudio was coming at him.
Yeah.
But he just couldn't. Oh.
Oh, Andre's claiming
Andre,
third.
maybe?
I don't know if, might be celebrating a bit early there. That's going to be very tight. Maybe he just wanted to get in with the boys. But Connor Baxter there, the GOAT, the greatest of all time, surely. He's won virtually every race there is to win in the world of stand-up paddling. And now he's won another one, the ICF Sprints.
Just goes to show, you know, that every stroke counts. You get out in front, and that clean water makes a big difference. There was some of the fastest guys in the world there that were caught behind in the wake that just couldn't make it up. So
Yeah, no, there was a bit of messy water, and we saw Arthur, one of the favourites. He got caught, so Vinnie Martins owes me a drink at the Sky Bar. Good stuff. Thanks, Connor. I'll share that one with you, mate. But
oh, yeah, well, they're close.
Andre's getting in the mix
Yeah,
still. I
Andre.
think he's
Well,
he's celebrating a little early there. I
Let's
reckon.
wait for the official results, but
that's
going
gonna be a photo
A
finish.
little deceiving for us too. So
Yep. But either way, Andre Cradle has just kind of announced himself as one of the fastest sprinters in the world, quite clearly.
I'll tell you
So
what wasn't deceiving. Connor, he won that
that was impressive.
clearly. There was no what we thought was going to be a little closer than that. Connor he just kept accelerating.
Yeah, that was,
Unofficial, he was between 46 and 47 seconds. I thought I saw on the clock. So wow. We'll wait to hear all the official results and times, but
So we still don't know the final podium there. We're waiting on the official results. I'm pretty sure they'll be looking at the finish line split camera to the millimetre. They've got a virtual line drawn between two boys.
first and second was clear, but that bronze.
Whew.
Well, yeah, like you said, Connor sat out of the distance race yesterday. He was here for a reason, and he wanted to give the sprints a proper crack, and that he's done.
Yep.
Some of these boys aren't even warming down. What? No lactic acid in that? Okay.
So we're going to go down for an interview in a couple of minutes, but we'll try and pull up the results before then, because what we know for sure is that Olivia Piana has surprised herself and a few other people by backing up yesterday's silver medal with a gold in her unfavoured sprint format. But she just blitzed it from start to finish. And in the men's, Connor Baxter. So we talked about the dark horse canoe paddlers, but in the end, it's two of the biggest names in SUP. Two of the biggest names in SUP that have taken the gold. Whew, so Claudio Nika, silver medal. He'll be stoked. He probably would have loved a gold, I'm sure, but to be getting silver medal alongside his teammate and probably one of his heroes, Connor Baxter, when he himself is just about 21 years of age and got plenty of time for golds in the future. Claudio will be ecstatic.
Yeah. He'll be
And,
happy with that. Another one who sat
He'll
out
be
of the
showing off that
marathons
silver medal at
yesterday.
the Sky Bar tomorrow night, I'm sure. He'll be claiming that one, as he should. But Connor, wow. Yeah, Claudio, you're right. He sat the distance. Very smart. Connor sat the distance, and there you go, 1 and 2.
Yeah. And that's it. You got to work to your strengths.
Yep.
18K in those conditions yesterday wasn't going to help their sprint today, obviously. So
That was draining, and we saw a few of the boys that did the distance race didn't back up today, saving themselves for tomorrow's race.
the only one that's proved us wrong there is Olivia.
Olivia's
she can
just,
do it all.
she's just a class act. That's she'll probably go and win the course race tomorrow just for good measure.
Why not?
I think she's just collecting drink tokens for the bar tomorrow night off all of us.
She might get a bronze. Maybe she just wants one of each.
She just wants her own podium. Wow. So, folks.
Waiting for the official results, but yes, definitely Connor in first.
Connor Baxter's taking the gold for team, for USA. He lives on Maui, he lives on Hawaii. But flies the stars and stripes in these Olympic level events.
Yeah, just been sent a couple of photos here of the finish. And
People are already sending through
yeah,
photo
that
finishes.
definitely looks like Arthur. That is, it's a hard angle.
Yeah, we don't have that perfect side, but that finish angle we saw probably favours Andre,
favours the
and we
inside
still thought
paddler.
Arthur was in front. So we don't want to call it too soon, but I'm provisionally penciling in Arthur for a bronze, which
Arthur raised his arm in the finish there.
he's
So,
going
yeah,
to be a little bummed about that because I know he was a hot tip for gold from many.
But hey, like I said, in a race like this, there's no room for error. It's not an 18K race where you can have a slow start and build and work your way through tactically. This is everything has to come together. Everything's got to be right from every stroke, from your first stroke to your last stroke.
So, the crew are getting set up down there at the finish line for a quick word with Olivia and Connor. I believe we'll switch down to them in a minute, but I think they're still analysing that finish line footage, piecing together the bronze medal and all the minor positions, of course, because it doesn't just matter who was on the podium. You want to know if you were 5th or 6th in the world here. And I couldn't take my eyes off the top 3 there, so I didn't even really see what happened after that, but it was pretty tight all the way down.
Yeah, to see 15 guys on the line like that, sprinting at that speed, all 15 were probably under a minute. Well and truly, So,
And I'm excited to see Connor's time.
yeah, me too.
That was, I was looking at the clock, it was somewhere around 47, 48.
Yeah,
If it's anywhere around 47, it'll have to be a virtual tie with Danny Ching's old record there.
Well, I'm going to call it. The wind's backed off now. There's not as much of an assistance as what we thought. Definitely a little,
Yeah.
but it's not.
I think the juniors got the best of the tailwind. It's actually backed right off in the afternoon
Does
here.
the microphone work?
Yeah, Ross.
Okay, can you hear me? Testing 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, so our
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
okay, so we're going to throw down for an interview with the winners there.
Thomas. Thomas. Can you
All right,
ask Connor?
The crew are just setting up. We'll mute that mic for a second, but we're trying to find Connor Baxter down there at the finish. We're about 100 metres away in the commentary booth, but we're going to throw down in a moment and get a word with the gold medal hero, Connor Baxter, who's just set possibly a record time in a 200-metre SUP race. Blitzing it.
Blitzing.
Alrighty. So I'm just getting the word through. We're going to throw down in a few seconds with Connor Baxter.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Come and stand over here.
I can't wait to hear this interview.
Looking at you, camera? You're looking at me, yeah.
All right, a few moments here. We're still deciding if we've got the official results in time. We might cross down to the interview first. All right, take it away, boys.
Well, here we are, the first ICF stand-up paddling sprint world champion, Connor Baxter. What a splash for cash that was.
Man, it was such an epic day. I was really looking forward to this. I mean, this is what the ICF, what I look at is, the ultimate one, the sprints. This is what you guys do. This is what I watched on television of all the kayakers. So skip the distance, focusing on this one in the tech. And to come out on top was amazing. There's a lot of talented athletes that I know of and have competed against. And then on the hind side, And then on the hind side, you got all the freaking kayakers and those guys that are just insanely strong and, you know, a gold medalist and the medalists themselves in their sport coming and transferring over. So that was a big surprise. And you kind of that unknown of like, okay, I know you're fast, but now you're in my game. Now you're in my territory and my type of craft. So all around, great job. Rami's killing it. The team here is killing it. We got one more race. Now we're 2 days down, one to go, and just more excitement to come.
Connor, we saw in the semis there were some super fast times there. Did that scare you a little bit?
For sure. Looking at the times in the semis was like, okay, now I know who I'm looking for, who I got to watch out for. For me personally, I knew I was in a safe spot, so for those last 10, 20 strokes, I decided to switch sides, take a few breaths, knowing that we had one more to go. So it wasn't at my potential fastest time in the semis, but this is the one that counts. This is the one that gets you on the top of the podium. So put my head down, was in the right mindset, super focused, and you know, my board was working amazing, paddles working amazing. Thanks to all the sponsors, my sponsors. This has been an amazing event here in China.
Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. This must give you a bit of confidence for that race.
Huge confidence. This was definitely, goal was top 3, whereas tomorrow the tech race is my bread and butter, so I'm going to go for it there. Same thing, there's a lot of talented athletes there as well, so it's not going to be an easy one. It's going to be a fight to the end as well. Another long day, but so far eventful.
Well, let's get Olivia in here alongside you because she is the women's world champion as well. What a fantastic moment. Congratulations, Connor. Olivia, congratulations to you. An amazing race. Your first ever sprint race, I understand.
Yeah, I can't believe it. It's wow, it's a big surprise. And yeah, I was thinking that the sprint was not so fun, and I was thinking that it was a boring format, you know. And actually, yeah, I did some foil, you know, this summer, foil, sub foil. And I have to push to start, and I have to be strong and powerful. And yeah, I did the sprint today, and I was like, whoa, I have a good speed, nice. But yeah, I wasn't expecting to win. I just give it all and enjoy the moment. And wow, I'm so happy with this gold medal. I can't believe it.
And now you're a world champion. Do you still think it's boring?
No, it's not boring to be world champion, but you know, sometimes you have an idea and you can change your. No, it's not about the result. I think this format is good for the young people to get to come into the sport, and because it's shorter and it's more easy to do. And yeah, it's also nice to watch for the people. And yeah, I think everything is nice, and this is good for the foil. It's a good training for the foiling, actually.
Indeed it is. And Olivia, we know how tough the race was yesterday. Was it hard getting out of bed this morning and having to come out again? Was the body aching?
Yeah, this is strange because when I do a distance race...
Once again, information for participants from the technical race tomorrow on...
There we go. It's only the boss of the ICF, don't worry. But this is... We just have to be... Just interrupt for a moment. This is live television, Olivia. This is what happened.
We have time.
Rex and there's enough space to...
We'll go on because I think the microphone's okay. So how did you feel this morning after yesterday?
Yeah, this is strange, but after such a hard race like the distance, I didn't feel so bad because I don't know, maybe I recover well, but also the thing is all the women did the distance yesterday, so we were on the same situation, and when more I race, more I'm strong. So I think this is my stuff, and well, yeah, I feel good. I felt good today, and I give my best, and this is also a bit of luck maybe, and so yeah, I'm super happy and grateful to the French kayaking guy that helped me to be here.
I don't think there was too much luck involved. You're our very first ICF stand-up paddling sprint world champion. Congratulations, Olivia. Well done.
Thank you very much. Thanks to you.
With 2 great interviews, and hey, Olivia, she's funny. She thinks it was luck. There was no luck in that.
No.
She was she earned that gold medal, and that was impressive. But yeah, Connor's speech, hey, you can tell he's genuinely the athletes.
He's pumped.
The athletes, the ICF have put on a great event here, and the athletes are they're being spoiled. They're seeing what this is all about, and we're being part of it.
Oh,
here we go.
you kidding me?
Wow.
46.3.
Wow.
We're calling it now. That's a world record.
That is
46.3 seconds for Connor Baxter. Wow. And even Claudio.
Got the third. Just look at that split. It was close.
So 0.4 of a second, Arthur Santa Cruz has snuck through for the bronze for Brazil, but Andre Crater, Arvis Ilians, Evgeny from Russia, that's in the top 6 there. There's 3 of the Canoe boys, so it just shows that crossover. 3 big names in SUP, 3 big names in Canoe. That's a pretty good result right there.
Incredible.
Bruno, Leo, a little bit off the pace for his brother, but Trevor Tunnington, he's, well, for considering how he did no training, top 10 in the world is pretty bloody good.
Well, the top 10 athletes there were all under 52 seconds. So
wow, that is fast.
11,
so 46, basically the top, I think Christian might just be over a minute. Basically, everyone's well under a minute there.
I think that was
but the top 11 are about 53.
Incredible.
That's extraordinary.
Yeah.
So
Connor Baxter, 46 seconds.
We were talking about maybe Rye and Kay could have been up in the mix in that one. I think the big boys have shown why they're the big boys. That was that was next level from Connor Baxter. Whew, and now we got the update of medal tally. Speaking of the Japanese lads, they've helped take Japan to a commanding lead overall. They're not really worrying with the minor medals, are they? Just go straight to gold for Japan.
Gold and silver only.
China's doing the opposite. They got 6 bronze, a couple of golds, a big haul overall. Germany, wow, they've got a couple of golds. Australia, a couple of golds thanks to 50-plus Marty Marinoff and Michael Booth yesterday. So Australia's moving up there, just 2 medals, both gold. But Israel, France, Canada, United States.
Connor bringing United States onto the front page.
Spain, courtesy of the Masters, getting in there in the mix with the golds. Greece is just getting a nice little haul there. Brazil, a silver and a bronze. Arthur, you would have liked that to be gold, but pretty solid result in that intense field.
To see 20 different countries up in the medal tally. It's
that's quite impressive.
It is impressive.
That's really impressive.
It's what this whole event's all about, and it's so great to see. And it's not over yet, Chris. Another day tomorrow, another big day tomorrow. Technical race tomorrow. We got a little inflatable race coming up too. So. Pretty sure Chris and I will be commentating that if anyone wants to hang around.
I think we're just going to stay on air just to deflate for a moment because I'm still buzzing. Yeah. I'm floating around this commentary booth after what I just saw. But yeah, we do have a fun little inflatable race. We might just stick around for a little story time with Chris and Callie and call that one. But I think we might actually even have time to look at the results from the 8 gold medal races.
Okay.
So we're just going to hold tight here. They're getting the medal ceremony ready. That'll be about an hour's time, but it started, it seems like it was a while ago. It was only about an hour and a half ago that Hannah Kraft from Germany got their 2nd gold medal. She followed Sonny Honschi's footsteps from yesterday. So Hannah Kraft, the junior women's world champ, she was very impressive. I mean, to push Mew and Brianna, the gold and silver medalists from yesterday, so far down the order was no short order. And Haoting Zhu from yesterday's heartbreak DQ, she's back on the podium now in a bronze, and her compatriot Xu Jinglai got the silver there. Kristi Babiankova was pretty impressive as well, but Hannah Kraft takes the gold in the junior women's.
Look at their time too, 1:01. So they're close.
That was.
That
was fast.
They're going fast here.
And then we saw Takao 1:01 as well. She got the Japan's 4th gold medal. Then it soon became 5, but Takao made it 4. So she's won 2 golds in the space of 24 hours. Takao Yokoyama.
Pretty clear victory too.
Greece and Israel got the minor medals there. Add to their little haul. Then we moved into the Masters 40 plus, where Kelly Margetts was supposed to be competing.
It was never supposed to be.
But Ivan Pena from Spain, he was the only boy that went under 60 seconds there, so he earned that gold medal with a hard-fought win. And Israel got another minor medal. China got another medal. And then we moved through to the 50 plus. It was a small field in the women's. They just juggled the medals around there. China picked up a gold. Got another bronze as well in the mix. Greece got yet another medal. I think that's 4 minor medals for Greece. So they've had a great campaign here in Qingdao at the ICF Worlds. Then things started heating up. Marty Marinoff went under a minute for Australia. The 7-time Olympian got a gold. Frithjof Sak He got silver for Germany, Israel. Yesterday's gold medalist off Iran. He got the bronze. Then things really started heating up. We went to the junior men's, and this was a hectic finish. The Japanese boys almost photo finish there. Kei Komatsuyama and Rai Taguchi. Rai just missed that start.
Just missed it.
And Kei just held on to the very death there.
He
earned that one for sure. A 52.5, that's you earn a medal right there.
And when you look at the two, you know, he's built like a sprinter. You know, he hung in there yesterday in the 12K and looked strong the whole race. But yeah, if you were to pick his frame, he was definitely built for that 200.
Absolutely, and Gui Tongyi picked up another medal for the home team. My boy Vid from Slovenia, top 6 in the world. Jack Seymour, top 7 after his bronze medal yesterday. Maui Sak. Some of the names to watch from the future, in particular, Kei and Rai. Man, they're going to be world beaters in a few years. Or probably a few months. It's scary how quick these kids are coming up. Rai's only 16, I believe. Kei's 17. And definitely names to watch for the next good, well, if they follow the Kelly Margetts program, the next 21 years. But then we moved into that extraordinary women's final where we were all trying to throw out the names and none of us picked Olivia Piana. No. And she goes and just makes a mockery of our predictions by winning in 58.6. Jessica Souza from Brazil, my pick for the gold, had to settle for the silver. Taryn King, another contender for the gold there. She rounded out the podium just ahead of Suzak, who, a little bit of heartbreak there for Suzak. The second day in a row, she sits just one spot off the medal ceremony. She's in 4th, Fiona 5th. That shows the class. Lena Ribeiro in 8th, Fiona Wild in 5th. I mean,
when you look at the times there too, if you put the junior girls' times in against that, the leading junior girl 101, she would have finished around 5th in the open women. So they're not far off the pace either. You can throw them in the mix in the next couple of years, and these races are just going to get stronger and stronger and harder to be taking home those gold medals.
But then we got down to the the epic headline event. We were worried the junior men might overshadow them. We didn't need to worry because the big boys put on a hell of a show, and Connor Baxter set a new world record, provisionally speaking, in the 200-meter SUP division. Just, I've never seen anyone take off like that off the start.
That was, and never eased off for a second. That was...
He did sprint 200 meters. We talked about earlier the ability to sprint beyond that kind of 80 to 120 meter zone. Connor just held it. He went into the red zone and beyond.
Yeah.
That was, that's why he's known as the GOAT, Connor Baxter.
Yeah.
He's picked up another title. He's got a few of them on his trophy cabinet back there in Maui. But Claudio Nica, that boy, it's only a matter of time before he wins a sprint title.
You know,
he's quick.
If he had just a touch better start, like he started just with his nose a little bit behind, trying to be safe on the line, not getting in front, you know, and that's a smart thing to do. But yeah, he just couldn't get it back up there to over the top of Connor. But Connor was too strong out in front.
Yep, and Arthur just snuck through for the bronze ahead of our boy Andre. But good to see the canoe crossover athletes doing so well. This really was their pet event.
Oh yeah.
Yesterday certainly wasn't. But tomorrow, with forecast to be some windy conditions, possibly even small waves, the canoe boys will lose their advantage again. So it was good that they put on a good show for us today and show that they're the real deal.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you can hear it in the microphones, but that wind has just swung around a little bit more on the onshore. So yeah, it'll be interesting what we wake up to tomorrow. I don't expect there's going to be any waves of consequence, but you know, as soon as you get a wave and a little bit of ocean movement in a technical race like this, and opens up that field and that opportunity for really some exciting racing tomorrow on the beach. And yeah, I can't wait for that one. There's a few guys that are really prepping themselves for that. We saw Lincoln and Kenny qualified for the semis, chose to sit out of it, wanted to rest himself. He wants to really have a good crack tomorrow. So Lincoln sat out today, Boothie sat out today. You know,
is Lincoln the one to watch, resting up today?
Oh yeah, you know, I'd like to think so. It's going to be hard. It's hard for me to. I think Connor on adrenaline from today. He's going to take today's momentum.
He was fired up for tomorrow.
He was
in that interview
up tomorrow, and that was probably the most. That was one of the best interviews I've seen. I've seen Connor give a lot of interviews over his years, and sometimes, you know, he can just.
The old days, he just used to say he was so stoked.
Yeah.
That was his interview.
That was deep.
But he's like a consummate professional now, and he was genuine there.
That was deep. That was yeah, and that's going to carry tomorrow, I think. That's really going to carry into his start line, into his preparation, into how he even walks around tonight and wakes up tomorrow, you know, he's not going to wake up thinking, oh, phew, that was hard. He's going to spring out of bed. He's going to be ready. So
He's going to feel like a favourite.
yeah, and I think after what I just saw there, hey, a beach race, and if you can start with that sort of speed, any of these sprinters, they've got an advantage. You know, you get to that first can first, turn into, if there is a little bit of bump or wind chop, that's you get that first option and to turn in and chase any bumps. Hey, the race can be. You can set yourself up early in these technical races. So it's going to be an exciting day tomorrow.
Well, if you're tuning out of the live stream now, like Baxter's Ward, it's midnight over there in Maui, so he's going to take a breather after you just saw Connor take the gold for Team Starboard. And
good night, Bart.
The Maui crew, thanks for tuning in. But before you sign off, we'll just give you a quick heads up for tomorrow's schedule. It's essentially identical to today. So whenever you're watching today, do the same in 24 hours, because we're going to be starting at 9 a.m. local time with the qualifying rounds of the beach race, the technical course race.
Yeah, so there's heats for that. So yeah, that's.
There's heats, there's a rapid charge, and then there's finals
tomorrow. So
we'll take a lunch break, and then we'll be back, I believe, provisionally at around 1:30 p.m. for the finals of tomorrow's race, local China time.
We're just seeing the inflatable race. There's an inflatable race here within the harbour lining up, and look who I see in the middle there on that patented R&D design.
Oh yeah, he's got the RRD inflatable, Paolo Marconi.
China,
But we're actually going to go back to a highlights, a little bit of a replay there from the finals. This was Hannah Krah in the junior women's. She rocketed off and gave Germany the gold medal there. Very impressive from young Hannah Krah. We've seen a little bit of her in the European events, but this is by far her biggest title to date. Surrounded by the Chinese competitors, but Germany took the gold. Just an extraordinary history of paddling in Germany. They're a powerhouse in the canoe kayak world and quickly rising up in SUP. Long led by Sonny Honshid, and now the junior girls coming up as well. And good to see all the competitors out there all the way down. I know Jessica Rankin from South Africa, who famously retired from the sport at 14, came back at 16. She's out there in the mix as well. And it's good to see so many different nations. I think we're up to some unofficial tally of 41 or 42 nations here in Qingdao. But this was the Masters women you're watching on screen. Takaya Yokoyama, she took out a gold. That was by far the biggest victory of the day. She was about 50 metres ahead in a 200-metre race. She's in a league of her own in the Masters. She'd still be competitive in the Opens. Then we got into the Masters boys. That's Ivan Pena from Spain in the centre there. He gave the biggest claim of the day. I hope they show the shot when he crosses the line. He was absolutely pumped. He bravely, look at this, he's tiring. He changes stroke right before the finish there. That was about with 5 strokes to go, getting ready for the claim there, and man, he was stoked. Look at that.
Where's his after race speech?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
He was the most pumped. One of the canoe boys there from Spain crossing over. And then we went through to the Masters women, the 50-plus women, the smallest field of the day, juggling the medals around, but China picked up a gold medal there. But I like it. I like that they've got Masters divisions here, because I think that's something that's missing from a lot of big events around the world, is a focus on not just the over 40s, but the over 50s. And if you ask some of the boys back home, they want an over 60s division as well.
Well, you know, in Australia, I know one of the biggest consumers, that one of the markets for the open competitors is in the over 40s and over 50s. So,
yeah,
you know, if you're watching this on the live stream out at home, hey, get yourself to these events and
you can throw it down.
Train for this, because we want to recognise, the sport should recognise and will. And then speaking of over 50s,
Marty Marinoff from Australia, a canoe legend, 7-time Olympian, took the gold home for the Aussies. Born in Eastern Europe, represents Australia now for the last 20 years, and he took out the 50-plus men's gold ahead of Frithof from Germany. But yeah, if you're watching the live stream, we don't know when and where the 2020 ICF World's going to be. I've heard a few rumours this week already. They've actually got, I don't want to say too much, but they've got a number of offers on the line to host next year's Worlds. So we're excited about that prospect. But this was the junior boys. Kei Komatsuyama fired off the line and just so strong, that choke stroke. Rai with the traditional stroke next to him. He came back at the end there, but Kei just held him off. We thought Rai might overrun him at the finish, but Kei held on. Look at that. Rai was just scratching all the way, but Kei held it.
He was too strong in the end, wasn't he?
Yeah, he is a powerful young lad.
And he had that, once you got the nose in front too, that dominant, you can just add your extra power when you're feeling coming for a couple of strokes. try and break him. But yeah, they're good friends too. So they've got a great rivalry at home, and it's continued here today for sure.
Yeah. So that was the junior boys. Then we went into the, this is the one of the highlights of the day, Olivia Pena. Surprising herself. God lucky. Ridiculous. One of the strongest competitors in the world over the past few seasons. She's won a lot of big races. She pretty much never misses a podium. And right here, she's got one of the biggest titles to date. Gold medal at the ICF Worlds, the inaugural ICF Worlds. Bit of an historic gold. First ever 200-meter SUP ICF champ.
And
Olivia
she's
Pena.
such a
Taryn King right next to her in bronze. Jessica Souza from Brazil gets a silver. So the Brazilians pick up a couple of medals today. Because we see right after this, it was the men. The women, they were stoked. Olivia couldn't believe it. Gets a big hug from Taryn King out of South Africa.
We're so lucky in our sport to be represented by these women, though. They're all just such great role models for the younger women. And here we go.
This was an intense race if you're ever going to see one. That's a 3-time Olympic gold medalist closest to us, Sebastian Brendel, and he was back in about 12th, which shows the quality. But in the center there, it was Connor Baxter just on the bottom slight left there. Claudio Nica in the middle and Andre Cradle. Those three starboards, 1, 2, 3, were neck and neck for the first 100 meters. Then Connor just had it.
There,
Look at that. He pulled away within a few seconds by a board length and then just held it the whole way. Arthur Santa Cruz was getting stuck on the V-wash of Claudio. He had to charge back, but Connor, 46.38 seconds. We're going to be hearing a lot about that number. Yeah. That's an historic number, 46.38.
You know, and what we talked about earlier, when that energy system's changing in the body from, that was, Connor. That was when Connor actually accelerated. When the other guys, their bodies were starting to, the lactic acid was kicking in, Connor actually accelerated there. And that's where he made his gap. And, whether that was a tactic or just the ability of that, he's a genuine champion. He has been for many years. And, he still showed he's got some fire in the belly. That was impressive. That
was an extraordinary result. I mean, the result's not hugely surprising. Connor's been, the best.
He's won nearly everything, but
he's he's the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time, really, and he's still a pretty young lad. But that was such a competitive field that it could have gone either way. So Connor fired up for tomorrow's beach race. That's going to be an exciting one to watch. You have to delay your flight, Linzo, for that final.
Yeah, I might have to. I'll just tell him to hold the plane.
A few boys have booked plane tickets very close to the closing ceremony tomorrow.
Yeah.
But there's about 60-odd lads out here. I saw Marty Marinoff, the freshly minted 50-plus gold medalist, is jumping on an Inflatable. Paolo Marconi, though, has got to be the pick here.
Yeah, is there any other sneakies in there we don't know about that are...
I wasn't paying a lot of it. There's the new gold medalist, Hannah Crash. She's having a crack at the inflatable race. This is just for a bit of fun at the end of the day, blow off a bit of steam. Let a few of the local... less experienced competitors get out there in the mix, but it wasn't so much designed as a pro race, but a few of the boys said, screw it, I'm having a crack.
Yeah, well, they bought their inflatables, and it's in China. Like I said, I was here a month ago, and the inflatable, everyone was traveling with inflatables. So it's actually quite big in China, obviously. It's a huge population here. Space isn't a premium for them. So.
A lot of them live in the high-rise apartments. As you see, there's just blocks of 8 high-rises going up at a time here in Qingdao.
Yeah.
So space is a little bit of a premium. They don't have the hardboard 14-footers, similar to Japan, really, where space is limited. They all just grab one of those packed-down inflatables and they can get jump on the water whenever they want, which is really the way to grow the sport. It's always had a bit of a stigma, the inflatable race, but it's not as cool as the carbon fiber boards, but it's actually the biggest gateway possible for our sport.
Look at Paolo sneaking on the line.
Paolo Marconi creeping forward.
Hey.
The last guy that needs a head start.
Paolo, get to the back.
Call him back, Rami. They jumped that start. And Andre's jumped on the board as well. Andre Crador.
Yeah,
I see Alexei Sedenko in the mix. There's Evgeny from Russia. Bloody hell, there's some top talent here. There's some ring-ins here. We got Paolo, the 2 Russian boys. That's Evgeny from Russia. That's Alexei from Ukraine. Andre's next to them. It's only a 2.5-kilometer race, so it basically is a sprint for some of these boys. You watch Alexei. He'll paddle the whole race on one side.
Really? Oh, that's your boy.
That's my boy from Kiev. He likes to paddle on one side. Okay. Those canoe paddlers know how to favour one side or the other. But look at Evgeny going out. He's on that the starboard. Looks like the All-Star inflatable. That's Alexi on the rapid inflatable behind him.
Using his experience here, pulling him behind.
Oh, yes.
He's like, no worries, mate. Your one side's going to get tired eventually, surely. Maybe not.
Looked like Alexi might have even been on an all-round inflatable. I didn't get a good look there, but a couple of the boys had those stealth race inflatables. I know Starboard and a few of the brands put a lot of effort into making fast inflatables. Awesome. So their team riders can, I mean, they got a lot of fast boards, but... there
you go. That's us in the
Can't
backdrop.
Yep, so the women are off. Sorry, the men are off, but the women are about to go off behind them. That's the men now.
Look, this one has no fin. This person in front of us has no fin.
No. Okay, one of the inflatables has been taken out into the water, pumped up to about 3 PSI with no fin. That's going to be a struggle,
and
mate.
It started upside down.
Yeah, you might want to go back to the pit stop and get a fin in that one.
Look at that drone footage.
Look at this.
So that's a good shot of the harbour there where we're based today. The sprints were on the top right-hand corner of the screen there, down that side. And hey, these guys are having a fair crack.
Paolo's going for it. So that's Yevgeny out of Russia.
Is there medals on the line for this, Chris?
I don't think so, surely. Well, maybe there is. That's why Paolo's having such a crack. But
Paolo's not like a medal hunter. I think he's just in it because he loves the sport. Uh-oh.
Okay, the women are off.
Okay.
Let's switch that camera back to the women. So the women are off. We're going to try and pick up the field.
Yeah,
I think young Jessica Rankin from South Africa might have jumped in the mix in this one. I can see Hannah Kra.
The lady from Israel.
Yeah, it looks like Etsy from Israel's in there. We're going to pick that up. I can actually see Arvis Ilians' partner right there. She's got that Hawaiian shirt Latvian team jersey.
Oh, I see. Yeah, on the outside.
Yeah.
Nice.
And there's that Siri Schubert from Switzerland in the mix as well. But here we go, the boys. Don't think they got the memo that this was just a fun little race at the end of the day. They're going for it. Paolo wants the win. Maybe there is a podium on the line here.
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
But yeah, that looks like Siri Schubert out in front in the women's. She's a bloody good paddler.
She loves it too, doesn't she?
Oh yeah. So she's out in the mix for the women's inflato race. It looks like.
Another one of those people that just wants to be on the water, you know, just loves it.
I'm trying to figure out who that is in third there, but I can see Alexi and Andre behind them. Actually, that might be Andre just moved up into third there. He's spewing he didn't get a medal in the 200 metres. He's like, screw it, I'll take out the inflatable race.
I reckon these guys are like, oh, hang on a second, I didn't think it was going to be like this.
I think there's a few crew at the back of the field. I think this just advertises the fun race.
Yeah, beat it, bro. Come on. Give these guys, this is racing.
Racing
is
racing.
Like
It's good to
said,
see.
Is that Paolo taking the lead now?
That's Paolo. He's getting a little bit of bump there. He's milking it. So this is only a 2.5 kilometre race. What is that? They're going to be doing about 9k an hour on the inflatables, you reckon?
Well, the way they're going.
The way they're going, they're doing 10.
Yeah, let's say 9.
So let's say about a 17-minute race, perhaps 18-minute race.
Is it just an out and back? They're not doing laps?
It's one lap.
Okay.
Just an out and back, basically.
Nice. Look at that drone shot. It is good.
That's beautiful.
We've been very lucky here, ladies and gentlemen, to have such an amazing team behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah.
Cameras. There's a dozen cameras around this harbour today. Not missing any of the action. All over the coastline yesterday. Boats in the air. We've got a full truck behind us with... It's a TV production.
It's $1 million production truck behind us. The equipment inside there is just, I was like a little kid in a candy store. I was pretty happy when I walked in that door and saw what we're going to be working with. So big hats off to the...
I'll claim it, but...
Oh yeah, this is all us, folks. If you're watching, totally us.
Yeah, we packed this in our bags. We've set all this up on the way over.
This is all my phone and gimbal and the baguette microphone. Now a massive crew working on this. The crew from Portugal doing the graphics. Bang up job over there. They're sitting next to us. Yeah. I've been making them work overtime, getting every graphic conceivable over the last 2 days, and they've been on fire.
Oh, they're not missing a beat though, are
and
they,
it just as like the message we were getting from around the world last night saying how good the live stream was. All of that is these guys. We just sit here and have a chat.
Yeah.
We got the easy job. But the production crew that goes into this is extraordinary. So we got to do a big shout out to the ICF for stepping up, and the Chinese Canoe Association, who are the co-hosts.
We'll give them another big shout out tomorrow, right in the middle of the technical race, because I think they deserve it. Amongst, when we've got the maximum amount of viewers on, and one friend in front here,
Paolo,
struggling a little.
He's struggling a lot, mate. But Paolo's a surgeon.
Struggling.
He's like. He's not too proud to claim an inflatable title.
Nah, hey, so he shouldn't be. He's a genuinely good bloke.
He's a legend, Paolo. Paolo and Suzak are two of my favourite people to hang out with at a race.
Yeah.
They're always smiling. They're always
smiling, a good
always giving you a hug
handshake
before
and a
they
hug
leave.
and, yeah.
See you at the next one. And they genuinely mean it.
I know
they're legends.
When I did the Euro Tour this year with my family, last day in San Sebastian, my two daughters there was nearly tears saying goodbye. Like Suzak's got a tear in her eye, Yuka's got a. It's like, oh, we're in a family. We really are. Our sport is one big family, and anywhere you go, any race, it's like everyone has such a good time, and everyone's welcome. And I think it's been shown here, and it's spread all through the ICF as well. It's
yeah, there's I think you said that pretty well. This sport's got a very special atmosphere around it. There's a lot of question marks around this event. I know myself, I read a couple of things saying, is this going to be are we going to get that atmosphere at this event, or is it going to be a little bit cold and technical? But
wow,
I've been pleasantly surprised at the vibe down here between the competitors, even between the officials that actually really get what's going on.
Yeah,
they
want to see the sport grow. They want, they haven't just put this on for show. This is something they're genuinely excited about growing and have the potential to grow beyond what we probably even know or expect. So
yeah,
I think
exciting.
I think it is. I think when you said you were genuinely surprised and excited by what we see, I think it's even subsequent that. It's just been impressive, and we've still got another day to go. So I hope everyone out there that's watching, and the numbers yesterday on the live stream, the athletes put on an amazing show. The ICF have put on an amazing show. So it's hopefully we're putting it out there to the world and showing what is possible. And it's great to be part of, for sure.
No, very exciting. I've done a couple of races over there in Europe, a couple of canoe races. In the Czech Republic, there's one that's got 1,500 competitors, and I just chatted with the local crew over there. They're going to bring me over for one that's got 3,000 competitors next summer. 3,000 paddlers. A lot of them are actually scouts, like young scouts. They take these crazy canoe boats down the weir ramps in the middle of Prague. And my friends over there said they've got that whole program to train SUP now. So 2,500 young kids that do canoe racing in the Czech Republic are suddenly going to be stand-up paddlers.
Wow, they have the opportunity. So every canoe club's going to
it's
SUPs to have the opportunity to train on.
If you go to Czech Republic and any of the countries around there in Eastern Europe, canoeing is a way of life. It's like going to Tahiti and watching them all paddle outrigger.
Yeah, wow.
And once you get SUP into those clubs and into those races, the sport can go next level.
Yeah, and this is something a lot of the rest of the world, I never knew that, and I've been paddling SUP for years, and
yeah.
Unless you go to these places and get out of the comfort zone, and that's one thing, you've been lucky to do over the years, Chris, is get to a lot of different races that, I'd never even heard of, and I wouldn't have heard of them if it wasn't for you, and there's communities and races that they're going to go on without the rest of us. They don't, they do it because they love it and they're passionate about it, and it's so awesome to see, and it should be showcased, and if that can be expanded and showcased even more, well, bring it on, I say.
Absolutely. No, it's an exciting time for the sport. There's a lot going on, and obviously a lot going on behind the scenes that we don't know, but what we see on the water is exciting, and when you see hundreds of kids out there competing, that's the future of the sport.
So you're saying I should be moving to Europe for a coaching job?
Oh, my God. If this sport ever got in the Olympics, there's going to be a dozen veterans just putting their hand up and making some phone calls, because there's been some countries throwing some coaching money around. I mean, our host country, for starters. Look at Andre Crater.
Yeah.
One of today's big sensations. He's based here in China. He's the coach of the women's sprint canoe team.
Well, he had to perform then, didn't he?
Yeah, he had to show his.
So he's nearly local. Is he carrying a Chinese flag today?
He's still competing for Russia, but no, he's actually been based here for the better part of a year, and he will be all the way up until the Tokyo Olympics, where.
It's Paolo Turner. Is that the?
Obviously, the ICF hands out. I think they got 14 gold medal events between. They run slalom, canoe, slalom kayak, and then obviously the famous ones we know are the sprint, canoe and kayaks, the Jimmy Terrell 200 metres in lanes.
And slalom, is that the in the whitewater?
The whitewater. They'll build, these days, they'll actually build a course just from scratch.
Yeah, wow.
And it's a man-made slalom course, and so they can get it centimetre perfect. They can actually move. I saw one without the water in it.
Right. They can
in
adjust
Europe.
the rapids.
They can basically just move blocks up and down and change the whole flow of the river.
Wow. And
It's
then
extraordinary.
control the power of the water.
Change the flow of the water. They can go from anything from like if kids want to go down there class 1 up to like Mad Men on class 5 rapids. And
Well, I know we talked about this a lot of years ago in Cascade, Idaho, and we
The old
talked when
PRGs.
they used to, when the word was, SUP should go to the Olympics. We talked about possibly even being in that format, as an exciting format, because we were we were sitting in a 200-meter grandstand with so much action in front of us all day with the rapids, the eddies, and whatever else, and 5-man heats. It was exciting. That was like an amazing event, and that, there's still a possibility that something like that could be added, if we spoke to the right people.
Very humbling the race that one was, wasn't it? For those of us that grew up in the surf, we're like, yeah, we're surfers, we know how to do this. It's just a stationary wave. We got our ass handed to us.
But saying that, the river guys were actually really impressed how quickly the ocean guys adapted. So
some of the ocean guys.
You
guys, actually, yeah. You did very well in the rapids. You got some whitewater skills. Fernando Stella, remember that?
Yeah.
Then the next year, Mo Freitas came back and took it.
But
I remember me and Jamie were struggling. Yeah. Jamie Mitchell was not at home in the river.
No, but I really feel like there is still an avenue for that sort of side of the sport, which maybe could be looked at through these slalom pools or whatnot.
I'd like to see more whitewater races getting some prominence next year.
Yeah.
Which is probably my job on SUP Race to get that, give it that prominence.
I actually, I've already talked about
it. I probably should get onto that, because there's a lot of good races around the world that are just under the radar, and that's what I found. That's what I found in Eastern Europe. It's just, especially with this like canoe community, it was like finding a treasure chest. It's like, are you kidding? 2,500 people in a paddle race?
Yeah.
And they want stand-up paddlers in there? So the opportunities from the canoe world, and we're not just talking about ICF, but just the canoe world in general. Like we talk about crossover sports, how the outrigger paddlers came into SUP and some of the windsurfers and prone paddlers, but the canoe paddlers is by far the biggest untapped pool of not just top athletes, but participants and potentially the future of the sport. So it's exciting.
Anyone who loves a paddling sport, that's you want to be into a paddling sport. Well, we'll put SUP out there.
Yeah.
As you see, Paolo heading back towards the harbour now.
Just he's looking like he's going to claim this.
Haven't got away too far. He hasn't got away too far from.
I think that's the two Russian boys, Evgeny and Andre.
Looks like third's coming back at him too.
I think that's Andre down there on the bottom. Looks like he might be on the Mistral Inflatables, but Paolo looks like he's on a hardboard there, but it's actually that razzle dazzle design on an inflatable. We talked about that earlier. If you were watching the World War I battleship camouflage, very interesting design.
Look at his cadence. He is pushed. He wants this race. He's not out there just for a little afternoon stroll.
I'm curious if these how long these boards are, because a lot of the older inflatables are all 12.6 as well.
Yeah, I did see 12.6 on a couple. I'm going to say his is 14.
I'm hoping he's smart enough to have backed a 14.
Yeah, I'm going to say.
He's paddling like it's 14. Man, we've only been going 13 minutes. And he's coming into the finish here.
Yeah, there's Rami giving him direction.
He's got about 400 metres to go. That's the last buoy turn there. So Paolo, not sure what's on the line other than bragging rights and a couple of drinks at the Sky Bar, but I presume there's no formal podium for this event, but it's cool to see. You got a lot of paddlers, just another opportunity to get out there and stand up paddle. That's what it's all about.
And it is offering, the people that don't, like we said, there are nations that don't have the opportunity to carry around a 14-footer or a hardboard or a fiberglass board. So,
look at Andre. He's just being picked up by Team Mistral. He's got a Mistral paddle, hat, and board. I think the Mistral bosses. I think he's just gone and signed a deal with them. He's kitted out.
He's like, sign that guy up.
They definitely were watching the sprints closely. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, he is.
He's repping Mistral. And it looks like Alexei from Ukraine in the back there. Actually, no, that's Andre there. That must be Evgeny. Yeah. So the Russian boy, that's Andre battling with his actually former compatriot. When he was younger, Andre represented Ukraine, then he moved to Russia, represents Russia, and next to him was one of his old rivals the junior Ukrainian team. They actually grew up competing when they were teenagers. Alexei Sedenko from Kiev.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a fierce rivalry even to this day on an inflatable.
Oh, yeah.
There's
no loft over there.
They won't care if it's for first or second or 10th or 11th. It's all the way. There's Paolo coming in towards the finish now.
Yep.
2.5 Ks in 15.5 minutes.
He's going, that's almost 10k an hour on inflatable. He's
And you know
moving.
what? He is actually moving. He's moving very fast. Well, that temperature's really
It's
dropping
getting
as
chilly
the
here,
sun
folks. If
drops
you're
down
sticking
over.
with us, Melvin on the live stream, been on the live stream all day. Good to see you on here, Mel. When are we visiting the islands down there in Qingdao? Mate, put on a race for us. I don't even need a race. Let's just jump on the plane after this.
Where is that?
Mel, I used to live in Korea. Is that in the Philippines though? My geography's escaping me at this late hour. Mel, where are you based these days? But Paolo, he's coming into the finish here.
Yeah, we'll come and visit.
Mal, one of the biggest fans of the sport. Good to see him tuning in from start to finish of this live stream. It's been a long day for us on the commentary. But Paolo, mate, he's going to take it out.
Paolo.
Look at that, he's claiming it.
He is claiming it.
Yeah.
You know, I actually think he was in the first heat this morning too.
So he's gone
all day.
from the first race to the last race, a gap of, look at my clock, that's about 7.5 hours.
He's there's some salt. There you go. Hey, these boys are legit out there
snuck
for this.
in there for a second. Oh, that might have been Yevgeny.
Here we
Oh,
go.
and
There he is.
Alexei.
Here's second. Up here.
All right, it was Jonas. Jonas Poldrack. He's the one that got a free ride with Sonny and Livy yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
That was our mate. He just wanted the front row of the women's race.
Yes, Jonas. You know what? He was just warming up for this.
Yeah, but he's clearly a good paddler. So, oh, it's Martino. Of course, he is Mr. Mistral.
Yeah.
He's a Mistral team rider. But
You're meant to know all this.
oh, he had the hat. He's covering his face. That's my excuse. I didn't realise he was out there.
Come
so
on
Martino.
over in the Philippines.
Oh, Paolo. Yeah, it's the Philippines. I thought so. Yeah. Oh, I've never been to the Philippines.
No, neither have
Mal, let's make it happen. Let's just do a race.
Is there waves there, Mel?
We don't need waves. Just a couple of inflatables. We'll pack them in this. Carry on and on the check-in. And
I need a surf
get
holiday.
So,
These boys are pumped.
He's enjoyed that.
You know what? That's the beauty of it. You see how much fun they're having out there. Like that was a race, but they're genuinely loving this. And, you know, and that's the vibe of the whole event.
yeah. Absolutely. So, folks, if you're just
ladies'
tuning in,
race, yeah.
we're here just before sunset in Qingdao. We're just having a little bit of fun on the inflatable race, just a couple of kilometres for the men and women. And we've seen some historic performances in the 200-metre sprints here at the ICF Worlds today. We'll recap that before we jump off if you missed it earlier. But it's been good fun watching it from the front row. The unofficial results as Siri charges in. Siri Schubert's going to just destroy this women's field. That's an interesting looking inflatable.
Yeah.
Look at that nose.
I think that's is it Dutch? Looks like a cog. No, what are the?
So the clogs?
Yeah,
The clogs, yeah. But Paolo took it out for the Italians and his compatriot down there in third. Martin Kova, the marathon canoe world champ. He's in fourth. Alexei, he got the bragging rights over Andre there. So Ukraine takes it ahead of Russia.
Oh,
Top five.
By what? Split second?
Yeah, I saw Andre did the push, the sprint canoe
He
push.
did, yes.
They try to launch their noses over the line in sprint canoe. It's a very interesting little part of that sport.
Like I said,
A few of the boys been trying it in the SUP today.
Even Connor did a little.
Connor,
push
I
there.
think he did after he crossed. He was like, I'm meant to push, aren't I?
meant to do this.
There you go. That's the canoe influence coming into SUP right there.
He more hopped on his tail though. If anything, he probably stopped himself.
Yeah, Connor hasn't perfected the push yet, but he didn't need to because he just set a record.
Well, you know what?
46 seconds.
He probably had to hit the brakes or he was going to end up straight through that back wall. He couldn't stop. He was going that fast.
God, he was going quick.
Look at Siri powering home.
I'm excited to see that medal ceremony of Connor's because he's going to be so proud when he hears the Stars and Stripes playing.
My phone just thought I said, "Hey Siri." No. Instead of, we're watching.
Kelly's
Siri.
iPhone is turning on because he keeps saying Siri. It's Siri Schubert from Switzerland. All right, the phone's had a long day as well. The phone's getting tired.
It's having a bit of fun. It knows it's late in the day. The sun's setting.
Siri, can you book us a ticket to Siargao in the Philippines? Siri Schubert. There's some inflatables to check in. Hey, look at that thing. What is that?
Is that
That's an.
18 feet long? It looks massive.
That's got an interesting nose on it.
Yeah. Oh well.
So we'll see how the women did out there, but you can see the men. Oh, Marty Marinoff just missed the top 10 there. Freshly minted gold
Oh, here
medalist.
comes Siri down. There she is, right in front. That's her.
Oh, yeah, she's coming through in front of us.
Oh, she's.
Oh, look at that. The sun, the late afternoon sun. Look at that shot. It's beautiful, just glistening. We're about half an hour from sunset here.
Only 2 minutes behind Paolo. That's impressive.
Well, you look at the, what's she doing? Inflatable women, 18:35. What was Paolo's?
He was 16:30 or 16:25. So
Yeah, right, Siri's moving.
she has moved all right.
All right, so the Swiss, the Italians and the Swiss,
Who we got there in a second?
divided by a famous mountain range. They've taken out respective titles here for the inflatable fun race.
Stop the GPS. She is. She's into
Yeah,
it.
she's enjoying that. So, Siri Schubert, the winner of the women's inflatable fun race. We'll see who took the mine position there in the women's, because we thought we were just having a bit of fun and cruising, but there's actually some world-class competitors jumped on a blow-up board and had a crack. And we'll see who comes through in the minor
what have we got
placing.
in a second
She
here?
enjoyed that. Look, she's
Yeah.
claiming it. She's got the Swiss flag out.
Ah,
Nice.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
One of the other Swiss boys there. Nice work.
Here comes second place for the women. Who is that there? 114?
All right, we're going to try and pick that up. We'll get the timing. Can we get the women's timing live? Possibly up on the screen, but we definitely know Siri Schubert. I've seen her been paddling for the last 6 or 7 years over in the European races. She does love the Alpine races.
And loves
Alpine
it
Lakes
too.
Tour. We'll see her there at the Gla race in a few months. One of the, the biggest race
Always
of
smiling.
early part of the season. I know that face right there. That's Nastia.
Oh, it is too.
The newlywed wife of
Liran.
Liran, top 10 yesterday. Nastia came over to support her husband in the long distance race. He got a top 10 spot. Won some money for Ron Gush there. But Nastia, we told her it's not too late to register the other day, and she did it. She jumped in the inflator race.
Good on her.
So Nastia out of Russia, I believe. She's actually had a very interesting involvement with SUP. I've caught up with her at a bunch of races. She runs like SUP retreats where they just go to the most exotic places and take a dozen inflatables and just have this extraordinary paddle week.
Wow.
So I think that's actually a big opportunity in the SUP world.
Yeah.
These paddle weeks where you just go, maybe leading up to a race, if you're going to a France or a Tahiti and you just want an exotic holiday. She jumped on the 12.6 Mistral today. Nastia. I guess her name now is Nastia Maklev, because they got married just a couple of months ago.
They did. Big party in December. If anyone's in Israel, we've all been invited.
All right.
I've just put it out there to the live stream.
That will be a big party. I've seen an Israeli wedding party. they're big shows.
Yeah.
So yeah, Liran.
Iran.
He had a great result yesterday.
Yeah, and he took out a race here a month ago as well. Took home a little
Oh,
bit
yeah,
of
he
cash.
took that Qingdao.
I asked him, I told him it was his shout at the bar. He said no, he wasn't allowed. It was going for the honeymoon. I was like, all right. He knows who's in charge in that relationship.
Yeah. But no. Good to see Nastia out there. I think she's actually top 3 in the women's.
Yeah, I think
Top
actually
2.
maybe.
I saw one of the
I
women
think
sneak
she-
through there. Was
Yeah.
that? Might have been our Israeli competitor.
No, I think she was 4 or
She
5.
was after that.
There was the.
I know
couple
Jess
others
from
snuck
South
in.
Africa was on the start list. See where she ended up. But good to see. There's going to be another sunset medal ceremony.
Yeah.
They're timing it well here.
They are.
We just had a glowing red sun yesterday.
Yeah, it was pretty special. And the backdrop as all the city lights up here. They love their light show, and there's a lot of money being spent on this foreshore, and it's a beautiful city.
Out paddling, we're definitely feeling
Is that
like
Si?
we feel like a real sport. Is it really?
I think that was Si out the back, on the screen. And she's coming around the
Si,
top point.
well, not the wife, but the partner of Daniel Hasulio, and she's a regular fixture.
I feel like she had a beanie on. She's
I
probably cold.
saw her.
It's probably cold.
I did see someone with a beanie.
Thailand, so. Oh, there was nearly a fall at the end there.
Yeah, so I travels with her boyfriend Daniel to virtually all the races.
There she is.
That side?
That is it.
I gotta get closer. No, that's.
No.
Is that Saber, our Chinese co-commentator?
Oh, it's Saber.
I think it's Saber, the saber-toothed tiger from the
Vicious.
Asia SUP tour. I'm going to wait till we get a little bit closer before I call that, but Saber was rocking the white beanie earlier today.
Yeah, that's Saber. I see Ballard just come online. I've been telling stories about you all day, mate. Where you been?
Hello, mate. You're a little bit late to the live stream. We
Yeah.
started about 7 hours ago.
Yeah.
That's all right.
He's always late. Spanish time.
Well, I think you owe Callie a title from that Yo Tour event in Qingdao. He said you had to do a redo of the only sprint race he ever won.
He took my inflatable sprint race title
dirty.
away from me. I wanted to claim that.
He was
in all
too
the
busy
glory.
commentating today to win the Masters race out here.
I don't know if I could have won the Masters.
Well, you couldn't have won the 50 plus because Marty Marinoff, our 7-time Olympian, honorary Australian, just smoked it. But oh yeah, we've had a pretty epic day of racing here.
We have an epic 2 days of racing.
If you're just tuning in, we're just wrapping things up here with a little bit of a fun inflatable race. It's a little bit of story time with Chris and Callie actually, and we're still kind of coming down from our natural high of watching the sprint finals because when Connor Baxter, I don't know, I don't even know how to describe that. That was just
I've never
epic performance.
I haven't seen anything like that. Speed-wise, that was beyond impressive. And to see it live and the speed across the water, you know, you can watch it on the camera and it's, yeah, he looked like he was going fast, but to look straight across here and see how quick he was moving, wow, that was another level today.
I'm going to go have a chat with the production crew and see if we can get the raw footage and I can post it up on SUP Racing because that was that. I want to see if they had a camera on him the whole time because we've got about 10 different camera angles here in Qingdao. And if we can just watch Connor from start to finish, that was extraordinary.
Yeah.
And Claudio wasn't far off.
No, he wasn't.
Connor didn't win it easy. Yeah, that is.
It looked like he was coming back at him.
That is the saber-toothed tiger.
She's been commentating next to us, doing the Chinese commentary.
Yep, the saber-toothed tiger, we call her. Her actual name is Saber.
Yep.
And, yep, she jumped on, threw the beanie on because it is getting bloody chilly out here in Qingdao when the sun disappears.
Left the beanie with me.
God. Alrighty. So if you're still with us, folks, we're just winding down here. Come back tomorrow for the beach race. We hear there might even be a little bit of texture on the ocean, some possible even little waves down there at the beach. We're going to move our production. Oh yeah, Cloud 9's in the Philippines. Yeah. All right, we're getting some comments from the gallery. Getting invited to the Philippines for a surf trip. Let's do it.
All right.
Saber-toothed tiger crosses the line.
There's still a bunch of you on online on SUP Racer on Facebook. If anyone has wants to request a quick last-minute story or a recap, throw it out there and
tell us about the time you won a flat water downwinder, Callie.
Oh, the flat water downwinder.
Going upstream.
Yeah,
infamous. Well, you had a chat with Sven Rasmussen from Starboard about that last night.
I did.
At the Sky Bar.
I did.
I think that was the first time you met Sven, and he knew you because of that race.
Yep, he knew me because
I think
won.
he even almost knew the year. He's like, oh, didn't you win the Flatwater Gorge race?
Aren't you that really old bloke that won the Flatwater Gorge race? Well, he didn't say Flatwater. I was just in the right place at the right time. You know what?
You are a pretty good paddler, mate. Don't sell yourself short. Don't do an Olivia. There was no luck in that one.
No, you know what? I can back. That day was purely about tactics, and we can leave that story to another time. As you see the sunset, last couple of competitors come across the line. The
fun inflatable race, nice day way to finish off the festivities here, but the action is not finished at the ICF Worlds. We got this whole $1 million production team's going to move down to the beach tomorrow, and we're going to call the action to the beach race, and there's going to be more medals decided, obviously. We saw 8 goals today.
Yeah, and as I look across there, you can see the flags, Chris. They've definitely swung around. That wind direction has changed as forecast. That may offer a little texture. So we're hoping it might be something special tomorrow. It's going to be special anyway. The racing. There's a lot of competition here, and these guys, and girls are keen to put on a performance. So yeah, last couple of competitors just coming towards the line, and then we're gonna we'll wrap up. I've just thrown our production team under the bus one more time this afternoon. Yes. I told the boys, can we just throw that Olympic-style medal tally up? I just want to nerd out and see what we're looking at now after 16 gold medals have been decided. And can you just pay attention and count how many countries are listed? You're good at that. 20. It's 20. Yeah, that's my guess. All right. Alrighty, so folks, tune in tomorrow from 9 a.m. local time. We're going to have the beach race qualifiers then around about 2 p.m. in the afternoon local time. So pretty much identical to today's schedule, 9 a.m. for the heats, around 2 p.m. for the finals. And we're going to see if Connor Baxter can take 2 gold medals home from Qingdao, because that boy is fired up. Yeah. He's had a bit of a up and down past really 2 seasons.
He's had uncharacteristic results after he was basically unbeatable for the better part of half a decade. But he's really found his mojo again. And, God, he's fired up.
Yeah, you can tell. He was...
He's proud. He's about to become a father. A big shout out to Anae Baxter, his lovely wife, back in Maui. Hopefully not watching the live stream at 2 a.m. when she's 4 months pregnant. But
there we go.
Yep.
There's our last
Connor's going to have a baby in March.
Yeah, well, he better get in as many wins as he can before then.
Yeah, he's not going to get as much sleep next season as he has this year. He was practicing this week. He said he was so insanely jet lagged when he arrived. He was waking up at 3 a.m.
He was practicing.
He was just practicing for daddy duties.
Practice.
Got a few more competitors out there playing around the inflatables, but we might throw up the medal tally before we switch off and jump down for the medal ceremony. Mate, it's been a pleasure calling the action with you.
Oh, it has been a pleasure. I'm just... can you just turn the temperature up a little, Mo? It is...
I'll bring the portable heater I take around the world in this little backpack of mine.
This morning, the phone said it was 7 degrees outside, and I look out the window and it's blue sky. I'm like, it's not 7 degrees. It looks beautiful. And we walked around the corner outside, and I was like, it's not so bad. We walked around the corner. It was in the shade and the wind, and I'm telling you, it was 5 degrees. And it hasn't got it got warmer through the middle of the day, but yeah, it gets cool here at night.
I'm going to listen to the technology and not you tomorrow.
Yeah, me too.
For what I wear tomorrow. I was thinking about wearing jeans and shoes, but you're like, nah, mate, boardies and flip-flops will be all right today.
Yeah, well, guess what? I got my shoes on and tracksuit pants. Your feet are blue. Is that healthy?
I haven't felt them for the past hour.
Oh,
it's all right. It's like being back in the Glarglar race. Alrighty, here we go. We do have the official results from the Fun Inflato race, and as we said, Siri Schubert, who we saw up in the mix in the open women's in the sprint, so she was in a class of her own.
Impressive time too for 2.5 Ks.
Finny Krah, she jumped in the mix. Hannah Krah, her sister, got the gold medal in the 200 metres, so cool to see the Krah sisters from Germany, both in the junior division, and names to watch. Krah, I'm sure I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, but they're going to be names to watch over the next decade.
There, Anastasia's there. She got the 4th.
Yes, that's Nastia. So our Egyptian competitor rounding up the field there, and a few more. There's actually a few more out there on the course. So we'll go through and see how the men did, because Paolo needs his time in the spotlight.
Look at that afternoon glow.
They haven't formalised the men's results yet. There was no photo finishes, but we saw Paolo take it out. Alrighty, we think we might even have to skip the Sky Bar tonight and save ourselves for that beach race tomorrow, because that's going to be an exciting finale.
It's going to be very exciting. I can't wait.
So folks, tune in tomorrow from 9 a.m. We're going to have another 7 or 8 hours of live stream action. My voice is going to be officially destroyed by tomorrow evening. I'm going to be very silent at the after party. You're going to be very silent on your flight home.
I'll be asleep.
I did finally book my flight home today.
Don't tell the Chinese guy. There's one of the paddlers out
Changed
there.
my flight. Had it all along. So it's been a long day. It's been fun.
Yeah.
And I hope we've been able to showcase some of this amazing event for you. Wherever you've been tuning in from around the world, on Facebook, on YouTube. It's been great, and it's been an absolute pleasure to work with these crew. They even the inflatable race gets its own highlights package put together straight away. These guys work all day. They're here well before us. They stay well after us. We talk about having long days. We're only here for 7 or 8 hours, mate. They're here for about 12 hours a day, putting this broadcast together. And you've seen from the coverage that it's just,
I mean, it's in the
next level.
Yesterday, he could have slept in that truck last night.
I think our producer's been here all night. But no, it's been an absolute pleasure, and a big hats off to, of course, all the hosts, the ICF, International Canoe Federation, the Chinese Canoe Association, and our friends here in Qingdao that have helped put this together. There is literally a small army of crew working behind the scenes on this event. It's quite extraordinary. What you're seeing when you watch the pros do their races is just the icing on top of, it's an iceberg below the water, really.
For sure.
So
we're lucky to be part of it, and hopefully we're doing it some justice with the commentary, and you guys are enjoying what you're seeing and hearing, and we're definitely enjoying what we're seeing, because today was a pretty special day to see the quality of sprinting, and it was, Connor Baxter probably topped it off. It was a great way to finish the day, or to finish the sprints.
Absolutely.
Oh,
A big shout. I think the biggest thanks goes to the diehard fans that have stuck around to the end of this stream.
Yeah,
We were peaking at thousands of viewers earlier, and there's a few crew that have stuck around on Facebook just to wrap this up with us. Thanks for keeping us company.
Maybe they just didn't close the window.
They just love your voice, Lindsay. It's soothing.
Oh, the soothing sounds. Would you like me to sing for you?
I heard you're pretty good at karaoke here in China. That Euro Tour after party, I've seen some videos floating around of you and Suzak in the karaoke bar in Chengdu.
Yeah. Well, if anyone that thinks I'm good at karaoke probably needs a real show. Okay, we thought that was the last competitor, but another one just coming around the pop there. But look at that sunset.
Oh, it's beautiful. That's basically the backdrop of the medal ceremony. Where that camera is filming just a few meters away from the stage where we do the medal ceremony. So that's what we look at as the flags get raised by that scaffolding. And we've got the big backdrop behind us where they stand on the 1, 2, 3 gold, silver, and bronze podium.
Yeah, it was pretty special last night. It's going to be very special again tonight. And like we said earlier, they definitely stand. Everyone's really proud of their efforts representing their country, and it was an awesome ceremony last night, and tonight will be just the same.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can smell food.
I know, it's almost time, mate. I see one of the boys on the SUP practicing his C1 style.
Look at that. Gee, it's a powerful stroke.
Yeah, we're just watching one of the boys go down the lanes, the 200-meter lanes, on one knee. You can't pick it up there. He's in the silhouette of on the left, but it's exciting to watch these. There's probably 12 or 13 Olympic athletes here, just off the top of my head. I know there's definitely one gold medalist, Sebastian Brendel.